Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Eris Bookman, the Duke of Darkness, Bane of the Left-Hand Path, the Father of Monsters, King of America, and that nigga your girl be talking about. I ain't got no sense. It's alright though, y'all. Welcome. Good to see you in the chat. Hey, let me set this thing up real quick so I can see it in front of me. Smoothums. Right? There we go. Alright, y'all. Welcome. Good to see you this morning. I got a smooth little lineup for you today. You can see the questions over here on this side. I feel like it's gonna be quasi-lecture-ish, but we're gonna have to see as we get in here. We're gonna have to see how this thing go. I appreciate all y'all showing up. Aaliyah Jenkins, Cast a Spell, Ryan Morrow, same old me. Good to see y'all in the chat. Aliyah, I see your comment at the top. I don't know if you're still in the chat, bro. It's cool. Good to see y'all here any motherfucking way. We about to get the thing going. Dawson and Shango, good to see y'all, man. Welcome, and good morning. Grand Rising. My nose up here. Grand Rising. Nah, fuck that shit, man. Top of the morning to you, Mr. Sombright the second. Alright, y'all, man. We're gonna have a nice show today. I'm feeling wonderful. I was feeling pretty bad. My back still hurts a little bit, getting old. But my wife came in this morning, hit me with a little icy hot. You know, so I'm good right now. Hopefully, if you see me cringe in pain, you know what it's about. But I'm gonna start this off real quick for y'all. Let me get the intro going, and then we're gonna jump into the show. Cause I have a few things I want to talk about real quick. I got just a few things. Cause you know I gotta talk my shit. Cause I don't do it through the week, so I can save it up for the show, and then I'd be forgetting shit. But anyways, enjoy the intro. Turn my microphone on. That should be hidden. There we go. I had to wear my little Baphomet shirt, you know. My wife got me this one as well. Don't wear my Baphomet shirt too often, you know. I got to get back into the habit of it. I was thinking about this because I was putting the shirt on, right? I was thinking about this. Timon times 2. Good to see you in the chat. Man. Got the pitchfork up. Got the trident. Good to see you. Oh, that's coming up today as well. Just a little bit up. Anyways. Yes, I'm putting on the Baphomet shirt, right? I'm thinking to myself, these niggas out here trying to be the GOAT. Nigga, I ain't even trying to be the GOAT, man. GOAT's nasty. Anyways, I'm putting on the shirt, right? And I'm thinking to myself, black sheep head ass niggas. I'm like, hold on. Don't a goat and the sheep kind of make the same noise? And so that had me thinking, okay, see, these niggas out here talking, oh, I'm the GOAT, but you really can't tell from what they saying. Because you sound just like the sheep. Even if you're a black sheep, you still a sheep. I don't know, man. Look, I told y'all motherfuckers, I'm the pig. I'm going to sound completely different. I ain't going to sound like these motherfuckers out here talking about I'm the GOAT. Boy, you sound like the sheep. And you still going to get cold. Nah, nigga, I'm sitting in the mud all day and niggas is feeding me. There we go. A lie up in this thing. Hey, good to see you, sir. Glad you could make it to a show. Fuck you talking about? I had to get up early, didn't you? Right, bro. Yeah, man, that thing be hitting. E, the producer, hit me with the beat. Man, I took forever to make that damn intro. I went through so many different things. But it's cool. You don't see the L's, you only see my W. It's good. Malik, good to see you in the chat. Y'all. Alright, before I jump into segments, I have one more thing I wanted to talk about. Slight rant here. Man, did you see it? Did you see my pain? Probably didn't see it. I'm good at that. Anyways, y'all motherfuckers in the echo chambers you create for yourself, man. Yeah, you had to set the alarm for that shit, nigga. I wish I could get into all y'all phones and put the alarm on. Fuck you mean? Get your ass up. Get your ass up. You know you gotta go work for Master. Leave me alone. No, don't leave me alone. Come watch the show. I'm tripping, bro. No, but these echo chambers motherfuckers are created for themselves, man. And look, when I say this, I'm not talking about the masses of people. I ain't talking about the dead niggas. I ain't talking about the niggas you gonna expect for this to be the thing, all right? You talking self-knowledge, especially you talking left-hand path, self-deification. Don't be making no echo chamber for yourself. And this is what I mean. For example, y'all hit the little thing where you like, okay, somebody thinks such and such about me. It's just a reflection of what they think about themselves, and they don't really know me. Okay, cool. I'll take your logic. I'll take your logic right there. But if that's the case, if that's what you're thinking, then just you thinking that about them is just a reflection of you, ain't it? So what does that say about you? Don't use this little shit so you can shield yourself from other people's opinions. I swear, y'all motherfuckers be like, I'm powerful. I ain't worried about this. I ain't worried about that. Shout out to CeeLo Green because he said this shit. But y'all motherfuckers be scared of somebody else's opinion of you. And look, when y'all motherfuckers say some shit like that, you're showing that you're scared. Just like motherfuckers who say some shit like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Well, you give enough of a fuck to let us know you didn't give a fuck. If you don't give a fuck, just don't give a fuck and shut the fuck up. So you're creating an echo chamber for yourself so you feel a little more comfortable in the lie that you tell yourself. Somebody come to you and say, hey man, you fake. Hey bro, that's just a reflection of you. Okay. See, look, this is what you want to do. You want to take that shit and check whether or not you fake. And for real, try and find the shit. Try and find the place where you fake. Where you posing, with all this shit you trying to get niggas to see and make it look like it ain't really that. That's what you need to be doing, not creating no motherfucking echo chamber. I seen this other nigga talking about goddamn anything that somebody agrees to, any paradigm is just their preference. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. If you got a teacher out here and they say some shit like that, and then at the same time want to teach you, it's just completely ridiculous, bro. It's just completely ridiculous. I'm going to tell you like this. This is why that shit's ridiculous, especially if you got something to say. All right? If everybody's shit is preference, what that say about what you teaching? What's the significance of it? If everybody say it's preference, what's the significance about what the fuck just came out your mouth? Nothing. Matter of fact, that's your preference to think that, ain't it? See, you can't get out here trying and echo chamber yourself to where what you say is beyond critique. And then say, I'm not beyond critique. When critique comes about, what do? You just try and float away and get above it. Like, no. Deal with that shit. Deal with the controversy of there being a critique of your work. Because I tell you what, if you're in a place where you're comfortable critiquing your own work and you actually trying to find the holes in it, you ain't gonna be bothered about nobody else coming up critiquing that shit. As a matter of fact, you'll have heard the critique they gave you 3 or 4 times yourself. Because you gave yourself the critique. See, bro, that's why I don't worry about nobody's critique. Not because nobody can critique me, not because I'm higher or better than that shit, but the shit you just said, I said to myself 10 times. And I know I get how that one works. Just why when I talk about debate, I talk about knowing both sides. If you don't know both sides of the argument, all you have is a strong opinion. You need to know your opposition's argument. You need to know where they're coming from, why they think the way they think. Get in their head, man. Get in their head. Yeah. Echo chamber is self-illusion. Self-illusion is delusion. All right? Self-illusion is delusion. You create. This is part of the reason you motherfuckers get so delusional with this stuff. Just saying anything. I get it. It hurt. You don't have Jesus no more. You can't tell your homies that because you already put your chest out, tell them how Jesus ain't real. You can't admit to them or yourself that you miss Jesus. You miss the freedom and the comfort. Oh man, I just go in here and I can pray and somebody got my back. No one got your back. No one got your back. So you got to start there before you can come around to find that anybody got your back. Man, you got to start at the bottom, the low road. We don't do the high road over here. Just like I always say, remember your mama used to tell you, don't wrestle with a pig and shit, because they like it. I'm the pig. I'm the pig. I like wrestling and shit. I don't deal with the high road shit. An echo chamber of illusion. Exactly. Y'all motherfuckers is putting shit up so you can feel better about the lie that you live. Admit to yourself that you're faking. Admit to yourself that you just got your chest out because you want a few motherfuckers to recognize you. I get it. I get the feeling. What's the word? What's the song? Iris, Go-Go Dolls. Where everything's meant to be broken. I just want someone to know who I am. We live in a world where everything that exists to break, to die, to fall away, to not exist anymore. Even you. And to desire for someone to at least acknowledge that you exist. And not just acknowledge that you exist, now acknowledge that you exist in the way that you want to be acknowledged. I get it. I get it. The feeling is there. Don't lie to yourself about it. Who are you looking cool for? Who are you looking cool for? You don't even look cool. Come on, bro. It's all right. It's all right. But look, this shit ain't all just preference, okay? This shit ain't all just everybody's right. If that's the case, then you may as well not say anything. You may as well not believe. You can believe whatever you want. You may as well not say anything. You may as well shut up. Don't drop your 2 cents nowhere. Don't try and teach. Because if that's the case and everybody's right, they was already right. As a matter of fact, go leave Christians alone. You may want to just go back to Jesus. Because everybody's right, right? Everybody's right, so how come Christians wasn't right? So you got to check your own shit. Check your own shit better than anybody else is going to check it. You gotta want to find where you're wrong. And I get it. It feels good to be right. It feels good to be right and then walk into a room and other niggas say facts. Check. Fire. Oh, these niggas must be my friends because they said things I like. No. No. I know I told y'all about the one nigga on Instagram who be posting all kind of just left-hand light worker shit. And I'll be in the comments like, hey bro, what the fuck you talking about? What is this? That's ridiculous. That don't make no sense. And niggas will get mad at me. But you look at the motherfuckers who will one up in this motherfucker and like, oh, great job. We got the light emoji, the heart emoji. I'm not loving light and heart emoji. Chill out, bro. I see you. Them motherfuckers, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't give a fuck about whether or not the fuck you right. Only reason they there is because they feel better having seen your post. You see, most of these motherfuckers ain't interested in moving the conversation forward. That's why I'm here. Moving the conversation forward. So we can continue this shit, not just be out here circle jerking with nothing to say. Fuck you mean, man. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna get into this first segment today. Bobby Hemmett had his libations. He was spit all over the place with the liquor. I'm gonna save my liquor. I don't have any liquor this morning, actually. I don't have any coffee either. Got the apple juice. Well, it's mostly water flavored with apple juice. I know I'm a psycho. Alright, y'all. We're gonna start this first one, alright? Where's my shit at? Down here. Okay. Cool. You already see the question? Let's get into it. The Alpha and the Omega. The beginning and the end. Quite often, you can find the two in the same location. Try finding them in a single deity. Today, I ask the question, who is Eshu? The god Eshu, also pronounced Eshu, is from the Yoruba pantheon of West Africa. This particular deity has a very long history and at times can be much more complex than he may appear to be. He is well known for being a childish trickster, but he also has many other functions within nature and human experience that he is lord over. He is the lord of the crossroads and emissary of gateways. He is a god of segregation and direction among choices, of wit and the intellect, as well as dexterity and chaos. He has even been called the deity who cheats. Eshu Elegbara journeyed to the Western Hemisphere with enslaved devotees, where he emerged as one of the most significant, widely venerated spirits of African diaspora religions. He is called Papa Legba in Haiti, Elegua in Cuba, and Eshu in Brazil.
He also may or may not be the same spirit as Paulo's Lucero. When it comes to iconography, Eshu is generally garbed in clothes that are colored red, black, and white. He generally will appear as either a young child or, at other times, as an old man. He can be seen wearing an elongated hat like the one a jester of a court would wear, which is quite fitting for this god of mischief and pranks. He will often be found at the crux or center of opposing forces and world dynamics. For the eclectic and Obeah type practitioners, whose traditional lineages cover a span from Western Asia all the way through Central Africa, the symbols are not so standardized. But you can find some essential elements, so I tried to capture them. As far as Eshu is concerned, what does seem to be consistent is representation of the three-pronged fork, trident, or more commonly known as a pitchfork. The symbolism for such can be regularly seen reflected in the ideograms and sigils surrounding this deity. Even though Eshu is well known for being deceptive and playing pranks, he does not like to lie. This can be expressed in a tale about Eshu concerning his brothers and sisters, where they attempted to overthrow their father. Olodumare, the most supreme Orisha, had lived for ages in harmony with humans. He would attend to the requests for justice of both humans and the Orisha alike. Even in his old age, he maintained his capacity to be efficient in the performance of his duties. His continuous experience helped him to get better and better at executing his duties. His faculty for success in this endeavor aroused the envy of his children, who wanted to take his place and gain the merits harvested by their father. The children of Olodumare sought to take their father's place. His sons and his daughters decided to meet up to attempt to come up with a plan to execute and achieve their goal. The key to the plan that they came up with to destroy the old man would be to use mice. They knew that in his fear, their father would either run away or, in the best case, he would lose his life from a heart attack. They each gathered up a small cage full of mice and set about hiding the mice in different locations throughout their home before summoning Olodumare under the pretense of discussion and important matters. When their father arrived at the house, the Orisha set about releasing the various mice from their hiding places throughout the house. The only one among them who refused to participate was Eshu. Eshu witnessed the overwhelming fear in his father's eyes. He pounced on his father, pinning the old man down, and spoke to him. "Father, you are Olodumare. There is no mouse that can do any harm to you." Eshu quickly set about catching each and every one of the mice and gobbled them up, so that they would not scare his father anymore, and free their house of the pests. Once Olodumare came back to his senses, his fear changed to annoyance and then anger. He removed each of his other children from the hiding place that they had taken up and punished them all severely and in accordance with the scale of their actions. When Olodumare asked Eshu what reward he would like for his courage, Eshu replied that he did not need a reward and that it was his duty to protect his father. As emissary of the gateway, many rituals begin and end with Eshu. He even tends to serve as a messenger to and between various Orishas, oftentimes taking messages to the most refined and supreme of the Orishas that would rather not even get involved with human affairs. He certainly at times seeks to inject chaos into order. However, he will often, as well, be seen bringing order to chaos.
Smoke, there we go. All right, y'all. TK Trav, good to see you in the chat. Society Ejax, how you doing, sir? Welcome back, welcome back. And I see Mr. Martinez in there. Good to see you, boy. That boy got the white flag up. Surrender. Hell yeah, can't fight this shit, son. All right, yeah, y'all got the triple emojis for me. I see them. Look, I can deal with it. I can handle it. I'm not triggered. I'm not triggered. I got some interesting emojis too, man. You got them Easter Island heads and then Joker cards. Look, at least have some originality. I can take that. I can handle that. At least have some originality. We don't sound like we in church. I can appreciate that. Trevor said my pronouns are mine. You must play along. Look, man, this pronoun shit, bro. That shit. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like, it's funny. It's funny. You know, transgenderism kills feminism. Like, it literally kills feminism. Not only is it the logical conclusion based on the presuppositions you get from feminism, but it literally destroys everything it started. It's like a fire that eats itself. Okay, because you can start here and say, well, there's no difference between men and women. Anything a man can do, a woman can do. Okay, cool. There's no difference. How far along are you going to take that line of reasoning? And then who gets to decide? Because now you got all kind of shit out here. You got all kind of shit out here, and it's based on that same logic. That same initial agreement gave rise to all this other bullshit. And you can't take it back at this point, because if you're going to take it back, you got to get rid of all this other shit too. Because all those other contracts and agreements are part of that shit. Now you got motherfuckers out, and it completely destroys the idea of what a woman is. See, now nobody can even answer the question, because if you do, the whole house of cards gonna fall. No one can answer what a woman is. So now everything that women have quote unquote fought for don't matter. Don't mean shit no more. Because look, I'm a woman. Right now. Now all that shit I need to be entitled to as well. In 10 minutes, I'll just say, no, I'm back to being a man. Because it's fluid. You can't really tell. There's no defining factors. You know, you can sit here and you can fight for women's rights, but if you can't tell me what a woman is, what difference does it make? Like I tell you motherfuckers all the time, what is you? It's simple shit. Easy shit. What is you? You can't answer that, but you can tell me you talk to this God, or you did this in astral traveling, or you gonna ascend this way, you gonna rise this way, but you can't tell me what the fuck you is. Same fucking issue. Your presuppositions are what's gonna set the foundation for all this shit. It's when I talked about fucking etymology going hand in hand with ontology. These are gonna set the principles of whatever body of knowledge you're talking about. And if you don't have that, the ontology and the epistemology, because you're gonna need both ontology and epistemology, then you do not have a methodology. You can't. You can't have a methodology without the principles underlying it. You have to have some form of irreducible in terms of any body of knowledge. There has to be an irreducible. Because from that irreducible, you build up the rest of whatever the fuck else you're trying to talk about. Christianity, the irreducible is God in heaven. From there, everything else is built on top of that. Hell, even before God made heaven, the waters. So you got 0 and then you got 1. Like, it's simple shit, but if you just out here to feel good, to say the new thing that's gonna make you happy, you're fucked. You're fucked because you don't know what you're talking about. There's a reason for defining lines. It's not just everyone's preference. You gotta draw lines in the sand, otherwise you have nothing. And then when you have nothing, you'll be complaining even more. Well, okay. That's my little bit right there. My apologies. Let me get back into this shit real quick. Same old me said that's Legba. Yep, depending on who you ask, sir. Yes, sir. Depending on who you ask. And see, this is one of those deities where I'm not gonna say it's interchangeable between the different pantheons and cultures. But what I will say is that this same idea of a deity has moved through so many different cultures. It's almost indistinguishable between them. But in the different pantheons, it's going to do different things. Like what Legba does over here in Haiti, isn't necessarily what he's going to do in Cuba. Okay? you don't want to just switch them out. You don't want, they're not just a one-to-one switch out, okay? I got a liver in here on this side, excuse me. I got a liver in here. If I need a new liver and I see a cat, oh, a cat has a liver. So it's a liver, so I should just be able to switch it out. No, that's not the case. That's not how it works. I get why you would think that, but that's not how it works, okay? But you can be the motherfucker that says it's just my preference, or it's a reflection of what I think. Okay, so you go back to your echo chamber. That's fine, that's cool, you do what you do. I'm telling you right now, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. You cannot switch out a liver with a cat just because it's a liver. All right, just because you see the red, black, and white don't mean it's interchangeable, don't mean it's the same thing. Two things that are similar are not the same. I'm gonna get more into that today. You're gonna hear about it in the segments. Most certainly, sir. Most certainly. Same old me says Cicero. Yeah, from Skyrim. Right? Right? And look, here's another one. Here's another one, man. And I like to stress this one because it gets into the whole living lucid, how you're framing reality. Is either going to be based on this human narrative, or is it going to be based on the dynamics that are present at right now? Or right here in the physical world. The physical world is not fake. It's illusionary, but it's not fake. All right, check me out. YouTube, red, black, and white. YouTube, gateway. All right, YouTube will decide whether or not you see some of the shit. There's so much shit on YouTube you won't see because you didn't ask the right question. You don't know where to look. You don't know how to look. Or that shit's just what they call shadow banned, I guess. Maybe. YouTube. That same concept that's behind that is what you're going to find in Eshu, Legba, Lucero, Eshu. All right. I think I may have said that name wrong a couple times, but there's so many different names, so I don't even know. But one of the things I want you to take away from this, in thinking about this deity, is in terms of you doing your self-deification, you want to take concepts that you already believe in and reframe your connection to how you interact with them. All right, for example, when I was living in Mexico and I was learning Spanish, one of the things that I did to help get myself into the mindset of speaking Spanish is I would take phrases that I said in English and translate them into Spanish. And then every time I would have said them in English, I would just say them in Spanish. So the intent maybe behind it is the same thing, but the framing of it is different, and my relationship to the framing is different. All right, like say for example, you believe. Here's a good one. I like this one. You like the cosmic archetype of father, mother, and child, right? Make it a thing. Make it a thing, and in terms of what you are, interact with it. Show yourself. Make a narrative about how the two connect. Okay. Let's say you want to do dark energy. You know, you niggas love Western science. Dark energy. Make a deity for dark energy, or look into it. Communicate with dark energy and see what the fuck that is. Because real shit, I was looking at this shit the other day. Dark energy, what they call dark energy, isn't so much an energy, because niggas love to fuck that word up too. Isn't so much an energy as it is. It's a placeholder for the fact that they can't account for the effect they're seeing. The effect they're seeing would generally be caused by some sort of energy, which is the capacity to do work, which is the capacity for motion, I guess you could say. Well, maybe not necessarily the capacity for motion, although I think motion would be a type of work. But it's the capacity for work. It's generally going to result in some type of physical world excitation. And so they're getting, like, where they use dark energy is the speed at which things move away from each other. They move away from each other at the speed of light. But they don't know they don't have an explanation for what it is that's causing the movement. So they call it dark energy, because it's causing the movement, energy. But it's dark because they can't actually perceive it. So when they say dark energy, it's not that they found a thing. It's the complete opposite. They don't know what's there, so they gave it a name. So y'all gotta look into the shit you believe from Western science and figure out why they're doing it. What's the Planck's distance? Planck's distance. Planck's distance quantum shit. It's supposedly the smallest distance possible. It's arbitrary. It's arbitrary because they have to have some type of irreducible in order to build a framework. All right, remember when the motherfuckers came out with the atom? They swore up and down. It's the smallest thing. Nothing can be smaller than that. An atom is indivisible. Now we got subatomic particles. We got all kind of subatomic particles. So you niggas still in high school with just your protons, neutrons, and electrons. Go look up what new subatomic particles niggas got now. When you look, you gotta check for where the fuck what you say may not make no damn sense. May not make no damn sense. And I'm gonna try and get into it today to try and put some idea on what the fuck the physical world is, what the appearance of the physical world is, what these symmetries of space-time are doing. Okay, because the physical world is one thing. It's one thing. And if you don't know the difference between that and something else, ain't no way you're going to tell me I'm leaving the physical world or I'll be leaving the physical world. How the fuck you know? You don't know. You're just saying that shit. But that's the order of the day because it's everybody's preference and nobody's wrong, so nobody's right. And if nobody's right, why the fuck are we talking? Assholes. Assholes. Loki, Lucifer, Nyarlathotep. You can find different correlations. And this is part of the reason I want people to start looking into the stories, looking into the symbolism, because you can see the correspondences. And remember, a correspondence doesn't mean it's a one-to-one, this is the same thing. Once again, I'm going to get into that in a second in the segment. But if you're looking to see how to frame a reality, what are the components of a reality? Okay, these are the things you want to look at in these pantheons. Not just, oh, look at this deity and I work with that. And you could have done that with Jesus. That's what niggas did with Jesus. Oh, it's just Jesus and I work with Jesus. That's what niggas was doing. And now you do the same thing with another God. Like, no. You want to see how this thing connects to a larger reality, a larger framework. And if you're in the place where you're doing self-deification, left-hand path, you're blazing a new fucking trail, then you don't just sit here working with all the other old public deities. It doesn't behoove you. Because more than likely, if all you're doing is dealing with the public deities that motherfuckers know about, there's a good chance that what you consider yourself is still your human personality. Why? Because whatever deities you're using are based on the deities you found in the physical world or in physical life. That's it. So we can move it further. We can move it further. See, what I would do, and I naturally do this, so I'm not going to say I expect everyone to do it, but I'm telling you what I do. I would have taken Loki, Lucifer, and Nyarlathotep and put them together, put a new little skin on top of it, and boom, you got something new. But it's only new. It's only a thing so much that you actually believe it. All right? That belief is most certainly a crucial, I'll say factor. A crucial factor in whether or not you're actually framing your reality. All right? Like I've said before, belief is what generates knowledge. You have information and logic. Logic is the glue that binds information together. The way in which you bind that information together is going to create your beliefs, and then in a denser sense, create knowledge. Okay? Just like, what is it? Chemistry, atoms. We're going to get a little bit of chemistry as well. We won't, but I'll mention it. I can take carbon atoms and glue them together one way, and I have pencil lead. I glue them same atoms together a different way, and I have a diamond. So it's the information can be the same, but the way you apply the logic is going to determine the shape and form of the beliefs that you have. And the beliefs that you have are going to shape and form the knowledge that you have. So you niggas talking about knowledge of self, what the fuck is you? What the fuck is you? That's crucial. It has to be some form of irreducible. And you can't just say some, what the fuck Madman said, I suppose. I'm multidimensional. What does that mean? What does that mean? Give me an example of something that's multidimensional. I'm not saying there's no such thing as something that's multidimensional. Give me an example of how that works. Because otherwise it's just a scapegoat. It's just a placeholder. It's just something to say so niggas don't question you. What's that? Echo chamber again. Echo chamber again. No, nobody questioned me. This is my preference. It's just a reflection of you. No. Get out here. Get out here. Put your chest out. And if you don't know, then just shut up for a while. It's okay. It don't hurt. I get it. You want to make sure niggas on Instagram see you a certain way and they think a certain thing about you. Like, you putting all the effort into getting motherfuckers to think a certain way about you, nigga. What the fuck do you think about you? Why don't you put that on Instagram, nigga? Pontificating ass motherfuckers. Nice. Nice. Pronouns, he, she. Man, look, whenever I see somebody with pronouns, bro, I had to tune them out. I gotta tune them out. Like, it's not that you're a bad person, but I'm not about to play that game with you. That's just disrespectful. I think this shit's disrespectful. Because look, I'm a grown ass man, right? I gotta work for this shit. You come over here, you mutilate your body, put on some different clothes, and then tell me you a man too, and I gotta respect that. Like, look, you want me to call you a different name, I'll call you a different name. You didn't change your name. But I'm not gonna equate you to me because you feel like it. That's rude. That's rude. Alright? Like, I'm offended. Alright? I'm offended. Can we deal with me being offended? I'm offended by that, and I'm offended by anybody who gets offended. So we have to deal with my offense too. We're all equal. I should get some of that shit as well. Motherfuckers ain't Vishnu talking about they a woman. Wait, what? Motherfuckers ain't Vishnu talking about they a woman. I don't know what them niggas be talking about. Vishnu, well, most of the no, I don't think Brahma turned into a woman at all. I don't think I remember a story where Brahma turned into a woman. But Shiva, she was half woman with the Shakti shit. And I remember Vishnu turned into a woman and Shiva was like, oh, this is the thing you got over there, sweetie? Oh. Oh shit! And look, when the whole, bro, this woman shit is ridiculous. And the fact that, oh shit, there we go. I couldn't hear myself for a second. That's terrible. Look, the fact that motherfuckers want other people to play into their delusions is just, it's off the wall. Like, you ever see the motherfucking lizard man, the guy with the tattoos and the cut up shit? Okay, bro, I'll say you the lizard man, but we all know this nigga's not a lizard. Like, we have to draw a line somewhere. Otherwise, it's all going to be dissolved. It's all going to be destroyed. And you'll have nothing. And then you'll really be upset. You'll really be upset then. And get into the avatars of Vishnu, y'all. I mean, shit, for real. Get into the avatars of Vishnu. And not just Krishna. I know I talked about, I don't know if Rama is necessarily an avatar of Vishnu. I had to double check that just to be sure. But there's plenty of avatars of Vishnu. Vishnu is the sustainer. Okay, he's the in the Trinity of the Hindu pantheon. He's the operator. You got generator, operator, destroyer. Shiva's the destroyer. Brahma's the generator. You have the operator. Vishnu's the operator. Like, bro, get into the deities. Get into the mythologies. I can't say this shit enough. I can't say this shit enough. Stop looking for the next methodology somebody gonna tell you so you can do some new fancy human shit. Fuck the methodologies. You need the principles behind this shit. And if you don't know the principles, your methodologies are hollow. You're gonna be stuck deep breathing and sun gazing like fucking idiots. Ugh. I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Same old me says, my mom's has always had an Eligua stone head with her giving her pennies and offerings and candies. Since she's a kid, I was always interested in it. Hell yeah, man. And look, sometimes he'll do the kid thing, sometimes he'll do the old man thing. Oh, you know, treat him like an old man sometimes too. Hell yeah. Little kids love pennies. I got money. Okay, little nigga, yeah, I'm sure. Busy day, maestro. Busy day, but dropping in to get some shit sprinkles. There you go, sir. It's the place to come to get it. Maestro, good to see you in the chat, man. Good to see you in the chat. Yo, Maestro be on that shit, bro. Maestro be on that shit. I'm telling you, as long as you keep leaning in, bro, you'll be straight. Leaning in, sir. Yeah, Maestro be on that stuff, man. Y'all better holler at your boy. Vishnu turned into Mohini. Okay, is that the name of the girl? Thank you, Trav. Yeah, Vishnu is Satwik. Satwik. I think I said it right. See, y'all be saying the Sanskrit words, man. I can't even do it. Once again, Trav's a saint. He'll give y'all the Sanskrit words. I won't do it. Look, most I'll give y'all is an African accent in one of my segments. Father, no one can hurt you. You all Udumare. Did y'all catch that shit? I had fun doing that shit. I loved it. All right. I finally got to the end of the chat. Okay. Did I want to say anything else? One last thing, and this goes back to Eshu. He doesn't like to lie. He doesn't like to lie, but that doesn't mean he won't deceive you. Because look, maximum of law. Let he who would be deceived be deceived. All right, that's your responsibility. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. What is ignorance of the law, or not understanding the contract you're making, not understanding the agreement you're making? That's your responsibility. It's not someone else's. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Let he who would be deceived be deceived. All right? Deal with it, man. You got to get in here and check that shit. Because this motherfucker will deceive you. It's not because something's wrong with him. Ain't nobody lying to you. Ain't nobody come and done something to you. Oh, the elites are doing this. They didn't lie and they did this with the Sesta KV Trust and the Pope. No. It's you and your ignorance. I get it because I got plenty of ignorance I'm dealing with. Ain't the same ignorance other motherfuckers dealing with. Sure. Okay, cool. Don't make that special. Don't make it special. I'm still a piece of shit. So let he who will be deceived. And that includes you. All right, first and foremost. Don't just take that and think, oh, Christians, look at them being deceived. Oh, look at all these sheep, they're watching a presidential election, okay, fuck them, they're supposed to, they're dead. They're sheep. Are you different? Because if you're not, first of all, if you're not different, shut the fuck up. If you are different, then by what measure? How? You just ignorant about something else in a different place. Matter of fact, you so impressed with yourself that you're not ignorant in the same way a dead nigga is ignorant, that you don't realize you're still ignorant as fuck. You're just another dead nigga. You another dead nigga with a little bit of shit sprinkles on it. Thank you for that, Maestro. With a little bit of shit sprinkles on it. Come on now. Lean into that shit. A sheep and a goat make the same noise. Sheep and a goat make the same noise. Fuck out of here, man. All right. This is what I want to get into next. Where I'm at my time. 47 minutes? Are you serious? Okay, whatever. This is where I want to get into, all right? What is duality? What is duality and what is polarity? Both of these videos is a two-part video. I just made two different questions for it. Same video. You'll see, though. Well, I'm not showing the same video. There's two parts to the same video, so whatever. A lot of times I see people using these words interchangeably. This is a no. This is a no. I'm going to tell you you're wrong. And you can tell me it's just my preference, but then what the fuck? You should have shut up. If it's all just preferences, you should have shut up. Because anything you're saying is just your preference and it's not applicable to anyone or anything else, right? So then shut up. You're not giving me no tips. You're not leaving me no secret hint. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. But you can't. You can't. You gotta say something. You gotta pontificate. You gotta let niggas know. And see, so it's not just preference. It's posing. Head ass nigga. Y'all motherfuckers, man. It's alright though. Let me get into the segment and we gonna chop this up today, man. We're gonna chop this up today. Cause I was working on this one. I want to make sure I had everything right. I'm working on this one. I got like another 2 I'm working seriously on. And it's taking me too long to do it. Study long, study wrong. That's my fault. Here, we gonna get into this, y'all. In our current day and age, the study of occult and spiritual topics is as veiled in symbolism as it ever has been. This veil is meant to dissuade and confuse the uninitiated. Many people confused about what this or that means and using words as if they were mere toys instead of examining the meanings that are behind them. Look, before I start ranting, I'll ask this question. What is the difference between duality and polarity? First and foremost, the words duality and polarity are not interchangeable. The nature of the dynamics that they are describing do most certainly have their similarities, but as I've said before, two things that are similar are not the same. Duality and polarity are two different descriptions, describing two different densities of unity. And further yet, how those different densities of unity interact with themselves at different levels. Said differently, a unity is a whole composed of units. Units within a unity
interact with each other dynamically, depending on the quantity of units involved. A unity with only one unit doesn't do much interacting with itself, aside from being itself. Such is the nature of the all. This almost goes without saying, but I say it, however, to shed light on the difference between a unity that has either 2 units or 4 units. If the subject is duality, then it's a discussion about a unity that possesses 2 units. If the subject is polarity, then it is a discussion about a unity that possesses 4 units. The relationships that are generated by these units that are in these unities creates a dynamic. These dynamics have been and are represented as symbolisms that have veiled many bodies of wisdom throughout the ages. In terms of duality, or the twofold pattern, the emphasis is that you are dealing with 2 units in a unity. Whereas in a previous segment, I described the qualities of the quantity 2 as being illusion. Here, I will use a more commonplace representation from among what are called the 7 Hermetic Principles. Here, our focus is on the second of those 7 principles, which is known as the law of correspondence. Here, being built upon the foundations established by the omnipotent singularity of the all, correspondence becomes that which will link anything other than the all to the all, thereby giving way to ideas like as above, so below. The takeaway here to remember is that without a below, there is very little necessity for an above. Allowing concepts such as without to give definition to other concepts such as within. Duality can be defined as the quality or state of having 2 different or opposite parts or elements. Once again, the point to be remembered is that these 2 opposing positions define one another in both their nature and being. A great example of this dynamic is expressed within the system of the 4 elements. The first of those 2 elements being fire and water. Where fire is hot, water is cold. Where fire is bright, water is dark. Where fire is focused, centered, and active, water is dispersed, encapsulating, and passive. The opposing natures of these elements give definition to one another, which is what is meant when I say that they define each other. Most importantly, however, is that the dynamics of and between fire and water also serve to give rise to the remaining 2 elements. All right, smooth. Yes, Trav, duality and polarity. See, completely different things, y'all. Completely different things. Keep that in mind. If we're talking duality, we're talking the 2-fold pattern. If we're talking polarity, we're talking the 4-fold pattern. Excuse me. I already told you about the 3-fold pattern, the Trinity. I've spoken about the Trinity ad nauseum. So much. I've spoken about the Trinity so much, but I can't say enough about it because it's the fundamentals for occult metaphysics. It's the cornerstone of this entire framework is the Trinity. If you've seen the Father, you've seen the Son. You can't just throw Christianity out with the bathwater because you was hurt because you was just believing what motherfuckers told you verbatim. And then not only that, but literally. So now you mad at them. No, sir. Look at these fucking flat earthers. Running around, oh, you gotta just believe whatever you're told. No, nigga, you did that, and that's why you mad. Fuck out of here. No. Okay, cool. Let me leave that alone. It's fucking flat earthers, man. Niggas don't get enough. Fuck. All right. As I've said before, 2 things that are similar are not the same. Keep that in mind. Okay. Just like with the different forms of Eshu or Legba in different places, very similar. Not the same. Very similar. Not the same. Liver in this body. Liver in a cat. Very similar. Not the same. Okay? I actually think that's the maximum of law as well.
So keep that in mind. Two things that are similar are not the same. Hence the difference in the words. See, motherfuckers will just use words like they're toys. That's half motherfuckers' problem, man. Like, look, half of answering a question is framing. Half of getting an answer is framing the question. All right, or half of answering. I think it's like that. Half of getting to an answer is framing the question. Okay, you're going to frame the question in language. You need to be meticulous with your word, not so other motherfuckers get it. Because look, if a motherfucker ain't listening to understand, they're not going to get it no ways. Most motherfuckers ain't listening. They hear a word they've never heard before. They just keep rolling and go like, ooh, wow. Ooh, oh. No. Fuck them. It's for your understanding. I had to learn that the hard way. I did so much trying to figure words out, figure out communication, because I'm thinking, okay, I'll be able to better communicate with people if I know language a little better, if I know words a little bit better. But the thing is, I just got better. They stayed the same, and now there was even a larger gap between me and anyone I was trying to communicate with. And so I had to go back and redo that shit so I could communicate with them because they weren't trying to move. Fuck that out of here. So I'm like, what the fuck I need to even communicate with you for? Where am I going? Where am I going? Chill out. Let me stay right here. In duality, the two define one another. I've mentioned this before, okay? Just like I've said before, masculine and feminine define one another. Fire and water define one another. The scope of one is the extent of the other. Where fire will be hot, water will be cold. All right? They're giving each other definitions. They create the boundary for the other. Each of them create the boundary for the other. Excuse me. Because remember, what we're talking about essentially is the whole, okay? All things are one thing. Or you can say the all is mine. Okay? The all is mine. You can say the all is energy. You can say the all is love. You can say the all is chair. I don't care what you call the all. The claim that you're making is that the all is one thing. Okay? That's fine. That's fine. I'm not in disagreement with that. There's no contention there for me. But it's what you do after that makes a difference, okay? Because one has qualities to it. So if I'm going to say the all is one thing, there are qualities to that quantity, okay? Just like I was talking about in the segment with the twofold pattern. We're looking at different densities of unity, all right? A unity is a collection of units. At the level of the all, of that density, it's a unity composed of one unit. All right, now if we're talking about no thing, which is the only thing that's not part of everything, that's a unity that contains no units. All right, the no thing is the only thing without thingness. Everything is the one thing that is all things. Okay, the no thing, zero, is the only thing without any thingness of its own. Okay, it's the only unity that has no units. But there are qualities to that. All right, so and that's the important part. That's the details to it, I guess you could say. That's the esoteric side of it. There are qualities to quantities. All right, qualities to quantities. A quantity isn't a number. A number is a symbol for a quantity. All right, the quantity in and of itself is the thing that the number is pointing to. Okay, so when we get into the twofold pattern, there are qualities within the quantity too. All right, these two units define one another. That's part of the dynamic that's involved when you're talking about the twofold pattern. All right, so once again, it's a unity with two units. When there's a unity with one unit, the most it does is be. There's nothing else for us to interact with. Now, mind you can have a debate about that because you can say, well, it's interacting with the no thing. I wouldn't disagree with that. Yes, Sean, you're late. Of course you're late. Sean, you're very fucking late. No, that's right. I don't give a fuck. Do your thing. Yeah, okay. So when we're talking about the twofold pattern or duality, the qualities of this quantity are that the units are going to give definition to one another. This is where you're going to get as above, so below. Because what good is an above without a below? What good is a without if there is no within? They define one another. An easy way to look at it is from the four elements, fire and water. Okay? They define one another. Another easy way to look at it is the masculine and the feminine, which is not male and female, but I'll get into that into the next segment. I've gotten to that shit before. I'm only going to touch on it in the next segment. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. You can't. He who discerns well learns well. You need to make distinctions between things. A lot of people try and erase distinction so that they can just push whatever the fuck they want to say without any controversy or any friction. That's not the case. You don't want to just get out here and be able to say whatever you want to say, because then you're the pastor again. And you was mad at the pastor because you couldn't ask him no question and get no answer. Now you out here doing the same thing because you got dead niggas who was impressed with the fact that you said a few spooky words and some sciencey words. The fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. Sorry, I brought weed. What you sorry for? What you sorry for, bro? Roll up. Roll up. Sit back. Roll up. Enjoy yourself, my nigga. Hell yeah. Hence Baphomet. Baphomet is part of that symbolism. He's a symbol. He's pointing to the above and the below. But the thing about Baphomet is he sits in between the two things. As a matter of fact, well, you can't even see it on this picture. Well, I can kind of see it. I don't think you can. Oh, you can see it better on the camera, man. Fuck. He's sitting on top of a sphere, right? Look, we're gonna get more into some of that symbolism in the next segment here. But for now, check out the duality, okay? Check the duality. You got the up and down. You got the breasts and the phallus. You know, he's sitting on the ground, but he's got the wings as well. Half man, half animal. The duality, all right? The two sides are defining one another. Hello, Cosmic Chlorophyll. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you in there. The two sides are defining one another, okay? So when you're talking about duality, you're talking about a density of wholeness, all right? Where wholeness is divided and there's only one unit, all it's doing is being itself. That is the all. The all does not think, because that would be something other than the all. The all is not in a particular place, because that place would have to be something other than the all. The all does not have motivations, intention, desire to go down and know itself as the earth. No. It's one thing, and that's all it is. That's all it does is be that one thing. This is that omnipotent singularity, okay? See, this is why I hate when motherfuckers try and reduce shit. Oh, I'm everything. I'm all things. I'm the one thing. Okay, there's nothing that's not. Did you catch that? Nothing is not. That's the only thing that's not the one thing. The zero. Nothing is not. That's it. Everything else is the one thing. So saying it doesn't mean anything. So you got to get into the details. Like that. Like I mentioned, the 7 Hermetic principles. The first principle is the only claim being made. The remaining 6 are describing the claim that was made in the first one. They're not making a new claim, so to speak. They're describing different densities of unity and how the units in those unities interact with themselves. Why interact with themselves? Because what the fuck else are you going to interact with? It's all one thing. See, even if you have 2 units in a unity, it's still one unity. That's the point. That's what's inherited from the omnipotent singularity of the all. That becomes 2, which becomes 3, which becomes 4, and so forth and so forth. Okay, and we've already talked about how you go from 1, 2 to 3, the Trinity, the nature of the Trinity. 1 gives rise to 3 by way of 2. 1 gives rise to 3 by way of 2. I almost made that an axiom, but I mean it's not as axiomatic as the shit I made axioms for. Look, all things are one thing, all truth is but half truth. See, when you say the universe is mental, the all is mind, the universe is mental. The general thought, because remember what I said at the beginning of the last segment, is the symbolism is used as a deterrent for the uninitiated. The uninitiated at this point isn't somebody who went into a room and did some funky stuff to you and now you're initiated. No, the uninitiated are those who choose not to know. How are you choosing not to know? By not looking at how the fuck you don't know. Oh no, it's just all everyone's preference. Oh, that's just a reflection of you and what you think of you. There's no way you can even see me. If that's the case, why the fuck don't you just shut up? No one can even see you, right? Boy, stop. Get the fuck out of here. You niggas is out your goddamn mind. The all, exactly, Elijah. The all just is. That's it. That's all it even has the capacity to do. But this is why you need two. Illusion or duality, okay? Because the two is going to be that which is going to connect anything else to the all. If there's going to be anything other than the all, two is what's going to connect it. Now, how can there be anything other than the all if the all is everything? Illusion. Illusion doesn't mean it's fake. It means it's not what it appears to be. Two in and of itself is the capacity for one to appear to be something it's not. Okay? Without that capacity, you'd only have one. And see, the first thing that is born of that capacity is three, which is the Christ, which is the Son, this is why Christ saves the Father. This is why Christ is the Savior. Christ saves the Father from itself. Otherwise, all it would be is itself. This ain't about some spooky white man with wavy hair on a stick, nailed to a stick. Bruh, yo, what was this man's name? Is it David Duke, who used to be the leader of the Klan, who ran for political office? Yo, this man said the most hilarious, like, derogatory shit I've ever heard in my life, bruh. I still love thinking about hearing it. This man, I'm pretty sure he was on live TV. I don't know if it was live TV, but it was on a TV show or something. And this motherfucker, he called Jesus a kike on a stick. I was dead. I couldn't stop laughing. He was so bad too. Oh man, that's the most derogatory shit I ever heard. I love that shit. But yeah, look, it's not about literal interpretation of the physical world. See, motherfucker, look, and it's real simple these days, okay? It's real simple. If you want literal interpretation of the physical world, if you are looking for literal interpretation on the nature of the physical world, go to Western science. That's what they do. Now, they strip everything out of it that's not physical in order to get to the details that they get to. But if you want to figure out how that shit works, go there. That's what they do. That's what they do. But don't try and take that and then spiritualize it. Because then you fucked up. That's just proving that you don't know what you have in your hand in the first place. Shit. Elijah, the mind is all. The Trinity is the what makes up the all. The Trinity is the only begotten Son. To beget is a masculine concept. To conceive is a feminine concept. Two, illusion. That's the feminine aspect. The Holy Spirit. You have the masculine and the feminine aspect come together. One begets, one conceives. The only begotten Son. The only thing that comes about is three, which is creation, which is the Son. Because without that, one gives rise to three by way of two. Without that three, all one would be is itself. That's it. There'd be nothing else. See, two is... we can argue about whether or not two is created. The line of thinking I like to go along is that because one is everything, it contains all things, the thing that is illusion is inherently contained within it. So once you move in that direction, going further is going to give you three. Okay, three is the child of one. If you've seen the Father, you've seen the Son. I like to think about it like this as well. You know, you look at a triangle, right? You zoom out far enough, you got a point again. So when you're looking at a point, how do you know what else you're looking at? You don't. All you know is a point. Okay? That's part of the nature of oneness, of unity. All right, we're talking about different densities of unity. What's going to determine the density is the amount of units within the unity. Okay? The amount of units within the unity is going to determine what density you're dealing with. And each density has different qualities based on the quantity of units. Really simple. It's really simple. I'm the words I'm using them over and over and over again because they have meanings to them, but it's specific thing that I'm saying. Okay. Cosmic Chlorophyll says, I legit was watching a show last night with my friends called Midnight Gospel. Good show. Episode 5 made me think of you and Trav. The bird in the show was dropping knowledge. Dad, oh no. I'm thinking of the fishbowl dude. Which bird? Which bird? I don't even remember the birds you're talking about. That show was trippy though. I love that show. I love that show. Midnight Gospel is that shit. Go watch Midnight Gospel. And I'm not saying that because you're going to get all the keys and you got to decode it and they try to tell you. No. Watch the show, man. Fuck. Niggas always decoding shit. Stop decoding shit. Ain't nobody encoding nothing for you. Fuck. Okay. All right. Sorry. So, we're talking about duality. Correspondence, okay? Listen to the word. Break it down. Co. Which means you're dealing with more than one. Generally two when you're talking about co. Respondents, all right? So now I can communicate. The correspondence, the two, duality, this is going to be the thing that's going to link anything that's going to be other than the all to the all. One gives rise to three by way of two. By way of two. This is the correspondence. It's the thing that's going to connect. Okay, this is all you've seen the Father, you've seen the Son. They're connected. They're the same damn thing. All right. Two is what makes that possible. All right. Two is what's going to create the initial duality for correspondence. Because if you don't have two, you can't have co-respondence. If there's only one thing, there's no correspondence. If there's only one thing, there's no co-respondence. So you need this correspondence before you're going to have polarity, before you're going to have anything else, before you're going to have the three, before you're going to have vibration. Vibration, you go from center to the top, center, and down again. That's three positions. You could construe it as four positions if you want to do the Yad-He Vad-He thing. Either way, because you got the YHVH, but then the H you can say is the same thing twice. It's three positions. It's three positions. I'll say it like this. It's three modalities divided into four positions. All right? You can say it that way as well. oh shit. The episode where he kept having the ego death. Where he was in the prison. Babe, you know which one I'm talking about?
When he was in the prison and he had a mentality to try to leave the prison. He was angry all the time, and eventually he just kept dying on this thing outside.
Oh, now I remember it. Oh yeah, okay. He was attached to the bird.
Yeah, he was
exactly. Okay, now I remember that shit. Hell yeah. And look, man, you gotta try and escape the physical world. You're not in prison. Hell yeah, you're not in prison, bro. Look, you get out of one prison thinking you're in prison, you're just gonna end up in another one. With a more advanced guard and a more advanced prison system. Whatever the fuck, man. This shit is simple. You never left home, Dorothy. You never left Kansas. But you gotta be willing to get into the details of this shit. Dig around. See, okay, where do I not understand what I'm listening to? Where do I not understand what was said? Because you go through that, that's going to get you to a place of understanding. As opposed to just go, oh man, check facts. You hear what that nigga said? I don't know what he talking about, but that shit sound good. Here, bro. Great job, man. It's fucking awesome. No. Get your hand away from me. I don't want to check fires or facts. I want to know that you get what I said. Because you can't tell me what I said don't make sense if you don't understand it. You can't say what I said don't make sense if you don't understand it. That's why I take the time to try and understand what the fuck motherfuckers are saying, why they're saying it, how they came to that conclusion. Because if it doesn't make sense, by the time I've gone through the places to see where I understand what they're saying, where I don't understand, why I don't understand, then coming to a place of understanding, if what they said doesn't make sense, it's obvious at that point. But I can't just jump to that because, I don't like the way that felt. Oh, that don't resonate with me. What the fuck that mean? What's resonating? What's vibrating? What is you? Who knows? Who knows, right? You niggas just say things. It was the green-head guy. He kept getting killed. Yeah, okay, I remember that shit now. Yo, yeah, check that shit out, man. Check out Midnight Gospel. It's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, what else do I want to make sure I got before I jump into the next segment? Yeah, links them as above, so below. Okay, yeah. Like I was also saying, the two units in this unity, in duality, are going to define one another. The scope of one is the extent of the other. Okay? This is what gives rise to concepts like as above, so below. Without the duality, you could not have correspondence. You could not have correspondence at all. Okay? Keep that in mind. It's not just a law of the universe. Oh, no. It's very simple. All right? This is part of the reason it's the second principle. That's not just coinkydink. The first principle establishes the unity of one. Guess which principle zero does? Don't do nothing. It just shuts the fuck up. No principles, then you got one, which is what's establishing unity or wholeness itself. Then you have correspondence, which is the second one. Each of these are going to correlate to the quantities involved in the particular unity. All right? It's not a coincidence. Once again, the symbolism is there to keep out the uninitiated. Like if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't see nothing. I say that shit all the time. If you don't know what you're looking at, you don't see nothing. I keep pulling this cord too hard and I can't hear myself and I hate that. All right. Justin Macefield, the scope of one is the extent of the other. Could you explain that really quick? All right, cool. Rights and duties are correlative. Rights and duties are correlative. The scope of one is the extent of the other. Let's say, for example, you're a postal worker, right? You're a mailman, and you got your bag of mail. You walking down the street. This is you don't get the car this day. They ain't had no gas because gas prices too high. So you walking down the street with your bag of mail, right? And there's a guy. He's got his mailbox there. Now, it's your duty to put mail in that mailbox. And so in exercising that duty, you have a right to trespass on his property in trying to exercise that duty. So to go up there to that mailbox, maybe it's 3 or 4 feet into his property, your duty, the extent of that duty, or the scope of that duty is the extent of your right. The scope of the duty for you to go over there and put the mail in the mailbox is the extent to which you can trespass on that person's property. Because you could try and go like, okay, well, I'm the mailman. I have to trust. I can just come on your property and now you chilling on this nigga's porch in his little porch swing, sipping his lemonade. Like, oh, I'm the mailman. I can just come on your property. Like, no. The scope of your duty is the extent of your right to do that. And once you've gone beyond the scope of your duty, you've now traversed beyond the extent of your rights. Okay? Rights and duties are correlative. They define one another. Just like motherfuckers out here talking about, I know my rights. Okay, what duties do you have to go along with those rights? What rights you talking about? Niggas don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just saying stuff because they mad and they hurt and they're ignorant. I get it. But look, rights and duties are correlative. The extent of one is the scope of the other. To the degree to which fire is hot, water is cold. Okay? To the degree to which fire is bright, water is dark. They give definition to each other. All right? That's what I mean when I'm saying the scope of one is the extent of the other. All right, this is all a fire scope, so that's the extent of where water is where water works out, okay? And also, if you didn't know for some reason, when we're talking the 4 elements, it goes well beyond the physical manifestation of fire and water. In fact, that's the most mundane idea. That's the most mundane iteration of that idea. What we're talking about is how unity interacts with itself. Okay, how wholeness interacts with itself. When it's in a 4-fold pattern, which is what we call the system of the elements, that's how it interacts with itself. Each has a role, and the roles, when they play the roles together, creates a dynamic. Okay, just like we're talking about with duality, because I'm going to get into polarity here in just a moment. Just like when we're talking about in duality, each of them have a role to play. And in playing that role, they create a dynamic. Okay? It's very simple. It's very simple. Justin Mayfield gave me the check, fire, and the 100. I hope that means you understood. I hope that's what that means. That's all right. Did you understand? That makes more sense. Thank you. Okay, look, I appreciate that one much more. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, and mind y'all, look, if I say some shit and it don't make sense, make sure you say something. Holla at your boy. You in the chat, you here live, holla at your boy, because otherwise, I don't know. Because look, you asked the question, somebody who wasn't willing to ask the question, too scared to ask the question, scared they was going to look dumb, they don't know. You come out here with your chest out, be brave. Hey, man, I don't know what that means. What's that mean? Can you explain that to me? Got you. Got you. Got you. Give me the smoke, bro. I'm here for it all day. Fuck you talking about. All right, y'all. I think I've got duality there, okay? Remember, duality is not polarity, but I'm going to get into a little bit of how polarity works, talk about some of the things that you're already familiar with and how it works, so that you can go away having a decent understanding of duality and polarity, okay? All right, check me out on this next segment, y'all. Don't believe me, just watch. And then look some shit up. Like, look, and this is one other thing. Like, I do this show not to be the end all be all on all information. A lot of times I love to give you a plethora of seeds so that you can look things up. So you can go and research that shit. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. You want to tell niggas Area said it, that's fine. I don't mind. Make sure you tell your girl, by the way. I don't mind you doing that. But I'm trying to give you things that you can go and look up. Like I do the spotlight on spirit. That's for you to begin looking up the shit. I didn't just give you everything there is to know about the deity. No way. No way. But I gave you some seeds to start looking up so you can ask the right questions. Because you get what you ask for. So you got to be impeccable with your word and ask the appropriate questions. All right? So look, here we go. Next segment. In terms of polarity, or the fourfold pattern, the emphasis here is that you are dealing with 4 units in a unity, as opposed to 2 units as in a duality, like I discussed before. I say this because quite often the word polarity is misused as duality. And as I said before, although they do have similarities, the differences between them are both striking and clear once you get a hold of the details. Now, going back to those 7 Hermetic principles, we'll take a look at the 4th of these principles. Where duality was being expressed within the law of correspondence, which is the 2nd principle, the law of polarity, which is the 4th, is quite plain. Keep in mind that were it not for correspondence or duality, which is 2, there could be no polarity, which is 4. Said differently, in the case of duality and polarity, the former gives rise to the latter. Continuing, as I have said, with the example using the 4 elements, the latter 2, earth and air, are born of the dynamics between the initial 2, fire and water. From the relationship with fire and water, all that is created and viable is contained or expressed as air, the 3rd element. While at the same time, not only the discarded residue of those differing dynamics, but the stage for the entire engagement make up earth, the 4th element. Similar to duality, polarity can be defined as the quality or state of having 4 different or opposite parts or elements. Aside from the 4 elements, which for the most part, I would rather save an in-depth explanation for when I do my segment on the zodiac, there remains another pertinent example that I can rely on. That example is the concept of a tetrapolar magnet. When most would imagine a magnet, notably, there is known to be a north and a south pole of the magnet. Even if you cut that magnet in half,
those halves will now possess a north and south of their own. This is quite commonly known. To examine further, however, the effect of this north and south pole on the magnet is the magnetic field that surrounds and is created by the magnet itself. This is a result of electron configurations, and in magnetic materials, there is an upspin and a downspin to these electrons. I'll avoid the chemistry class for now, but I'll leave you with this here. The dynamics in the elements seen in a tetrapolar relationship is the essence of a polarity, where the north defines the south and the relationship between the two gives rise to the east and the west, just like the upspin and the downspin of electrons, resulting from the north and south poles of a magnet. The dynamics expressed by the tetrapolar magnet can be found throughout the symbolism of the occult, more especially here in the West. What we as occultists know as the four elements and the dynamics that they represent work together in the same manner as the poles of a tetrapolar magnet. This can even be seen with the elements being assigned associations with each of the cardinal points. Now, for those who have not yet thought about the philosophy behind these associations, I guarantee that there is much here to discover about the manner in which reality not only constructs itself, but interacts with itself. The same expression can be seen within the dynamic relationship between masculine and feminine alongside male and female. Even within Kabbalah, there is a teaching of the four worlds, or four trees of life, emanating out from the primordial Kalipoth and reconnecting at the kingdom, with Malkuth forming a square at the base. The Most High giving rise to the Most Low, if you will. In conclusion, and as I have expressed before, it is no coincidence that the fourth Hermetic principle is polarity and not the second, or that Christ, who is the third aspect of the Holy Trinity and as such creation itself, dies upon the earth, or the created, by way of the cross, which is a symbol for the fourfold pattern. That three, dying to four, only to rise as five. But we'll talk about the fivefold pattern in another segment.
What happened to the beat, man? I always forget to do this. I don't always forget to do this, but I forget to do this more often than I like to remember to do it. If you want to support the work, your likes, comments, subscribes, okay, you do that if you want to. Those are vanity metrics. I'm not here for the algorithm. Nigga, you the algorithm. The algorithm don't like me. You can't put no ad on my stuff. You watch my videos, you don't see no ad on it. Because I don't have no ads. I don't monetize none of this stuff. If you want to support the work, two things you can do. S.O.S. Spend or share. If you want to spend, go to occultcornerstore.com. There's plenty for you to spend on. You don't need my Cash App. You don't need my Cash App. You're not hacking me. Head ass niggas, boy, stop. You're not hacking me. Alright, Elijah, check me out. I seen your comment. Where was it? What is it? Okay, here it goes. Elijah said Brahma 0, Vishnu 1, Shiva 2, or Brahma 1, Vishnu 2, Shiva 3. I would say it's the latter. Brahma 1, Vishnu 2, Shiva 3. Interesting thing about the Trinity is that the units define one another in a way to where they're almost interchangeable. And this is what I mean by that. I'll explain it in this story from the Hindu pantheon. There's a story where it's quite common knowledge that Brahma comes from the navel of Vishnu. Okay, and so you have Brahma and Vishnu there, and there's a story where they're interacting with each other, and a pillar appears between them. Right? It goes up and down. And so each of them is like, okay, one of them is like, I'll go up and I'll go down and we'll see if we can find the end of the pillar. And so they just go. Mind you, the pillar itself is Shiva. And I think the way the story goes is that Brahma lied about finding the end and he was punished. You know, Shiva always punishing Brahma. But I say that to say, which of them comes first isn't always necessarily clear, because we've seen the Father, you've seen the Son. So I would say it's 1, 2, and 3, but the aspect that you're missing there is Devi, which would be 0. Well, you could say it's 0. Once again, this is something that's up for debate. Uh, the particular, because I guess some people could even though the general consensus, I think, is that Devi gives rise to the Trinity, but there's a sense in which Devi is Shiv Shakti, in which case Shiva is there with Shakti, or Shiva and Shakti are one being, and that's what makes up Devi. But I mean, it's I would say it's up for debate. There are different schools of thought on this, but if you're looking for a way to correspond it just a little bit here, and yeah, I'm old, nigga. Fuck you. I would say the more intuitive way to do it is go Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and then have Devi as 0. All right, because it's like in the Egyptian pantheon, the waters of noon, the unknowing and unthinking chaotic waters of noon, which give rise to Ra, or they give rise to Amun and Ptah, who create Ra. Because I had a segment about Ra, so we talked about that as well. Yeah, visit Occult Corner Store if you haven't. Because if you haven't, I don't know what the fuck else you're gonna do. What you gonna do? Go get a pill for your pineal gland? Well, that's what you wanna do? That's what you wanna do? Fucking losers. Fucking losers. Alright. Is the greenhead guy... Oh no, I read that already. Travis Mine just says, Franz Barden in the house. Yo, I got into Franz Barden kind of early in my shit. Hell yeah. Franz Barden is a good one. There are 2 other people who talk about this shit in an interesting way. I can't. The names are completely gone, so I'm not even gonna fuck with it. Maybe I'll make a post about it. That'll probably be the best thing to do. Hell yeah, them pineal pills, man. Niggas is tripping. Fuck out of here, your pineal, man. So what your little gland of meat? That's what's gonna make a difference? No. What is you? What is you? Oh, I got a gland of meat upgrade. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You niggas is meat bags. You niggas is meat bags, and that's as far as you go. No, I'm not a meat bag. I'm a multi-dimensional being. Shut the fuck up. God. Like, just be real about the fact that you lying to yourself. Like, this is your issue you have with Christianity. Get out here and do some work. Lean into what you already believe. Quit trying to perform and prove what you believe. Because who are you trying to convince? You. But what is you? What is you? Oh my God, you always say that, and I don't get what he mean, but I ain't gonna ask, because then I'm gonna look stupid. Yeah, you probably will look stupid. Just pay the money for a console. We get into it, bro. We get into it. For real. Fuck you mean, bro. HK from the Old Republic said it best. HK. HK. Who is HK? Maestro, who is HK? Who do you mean by HK? Who's HK? Now I'm curious. All right. Anyway, I want to get into this fourfold pattern. All right, y'all. Because remember, duality is a twofold pattern. This is how I'm describing it when I teach occult metaphysics. It's a pattern, and it's based on how many times you folded the unity, how many units, the quantity of units in that unity. There we go. Excuse me. The quantity of units in that unity. Okay. One fold is 1 unit. Twofold is 2 units. Threefold is 3 units. Fourfold is 4 units. Okay, so if we're talking polarity, we're talking the fourfold pattern. All right, unity that contains 4 units. Okay, and also keep in mind, just like Elia was talking about, you got Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Devi. That's 4 units. Even though you go 0, 1, 2, 3, it's 4 units. That's 4 units. So even before 4 express itself, it's there. Whatever. Fuck me, right? He was the bounty hunter droid who served Revan. I haven't got enough into Revan shit, man. Revan be like, I be feeling some kind of way about Revan, but that's me and my feelings, and I got to get into that shit. So that's why I don't know that one. I don't know the bounty hunter droid who served Revan. He'd address the player as a meatbag. Ha! Good, that's what's up. No, I didn't play none of the Star Wars games. I had one on my computer that I could play a little while, but then it started fucking up because it was a hacked version of the game. Yeah, I didn't pay for that shit. But I need to buy a Star Wars game. No, I played the one. If you look in the background of the two segments here, there's a guy who's got two red lightsabers with that Bane mask, the Bane mask from Batman. That guy, the game he was in, I don't remember. I think it was like The Force Unleashed. I played that game though. I need to play some of the games. I need to stop being a dick and play the games. I don't like the games sometimes. I just want to be evil and destroy things, so I need to be able to do that. Anyways, fourfold pattern. All right. Another thing to keep in mind: duality gives rise to polarity. Without duality at 2, there would be no polarity. All right, this is some of the things you need to understand so that you're not trying to use these interchangeably because they're not the same thing. Niggas to get into pontificating or duality or polarity or whatever you want to call it. No, it's not whatever you want to call it. It's not whatever we want to call it. Because if that's the case, then whatever I want to call you is that, right? Whatever I want to call you, that's what it is, bitch nigga. Bitch nigga, I'm gonna dead name you. I'm gonna misgender you. Whatever I want to call it. No. Fuckhead niggas. Bro, is Star Wars mythology really like that? What you mean really like that? If you asking if it's hard as fuck and real as hell, then yeah, it is. Because, bro, there's so many stories. There's so many stories. Check out the books above the movies. Like, the movies are great. Well, not since Disney took over. But the books. Get into the books. If you haven't read the Bane trilogy, go read it. You'll get what I say when I'm telling y'all I'm Bane of the left-hand path. I'm telling you, Bane of the left-hand path. What books you recommend? I like your knowledge. So, yeah, look, the Bane trilogy, first and foremost, that's what I fuck with. But, dude, there's so many books. There's so many books. And I be sleeping on the Jedi sagas. I really do. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I be out. I be sleeping on them. I probably shouldn't, but I'm no excuse. No excuse. I'm a piece of shit. That's what it is. I'm a piece of shit. I'll be real. Book of Sith, Bane trilogy, and Claudia Gray's books. See, there you go. Maestro helping you out. See, Maestro be on it, man. Y'all don't sleep on Maestro. Don't sleep on Maestro. I get you gonna sleep on me. I get it. I get it. It's cool. It's how it's supposed to work. You gonna sleep on me. Don't sleep on Maestro, man. Don't sleep on Maestro. All right, like I said, duality gives rise to polarity. All right, so one of them is necessary for the other one to exist. Okay, one way I like to describe it is with the system of the 4 elements. Okay, you have fire and water; they're defining one another. Okay. The extent of one is the scope of the other. Where fire is hot, water is cold. It's a battle. Okay, you can say it's a battle. I like to characterize it as a battle. These two are battling, right? You could say it 2 different ways. You could say it that once the two, I guess you could say, harmonize, although I don't like the idea that they're ever in harmony. But you could say that. You could say that once the two harmonize, once this fight that's going on like this, once the fight that's going on like this becomes harmonized, then you can have this one, right? With the up and down. That's one way of looking at it. A way I like to look at it is it keeps them in constant motion. It's a constant dynamic. Is that from this fight, everything that is viable goes up, and that's air, and this not only the stage of this entire dynamic, but all of the residue from that interaction and this viability creates earth, okay? That's the fourfold pattern. It's not talking about physical, mundane things, all right? It's the fourfold pattern. It's talking about the dynamic of 4 units in a unity, okay? 4 units in a unity. When that whole is divided itself into 4, how do those units interact? What is the dynamic of how they interact? Okay. Vishnu and Shiva made Ayappa, well, the female version of Vishnu. There's a union of Vishnu and Shiva as well. There's one of the I want to say it's Har Har Mahadev, but I think that's something different. See, I don't be reading the Sanskrit. I don't know the Sanskrit. Maybe Trav know the Sanskrit. I don't know the Sanskrit. I really thought it was only 7 movies. 9 movies now, excluding extras. Man, fuck son. Disney and its movies. That just makes me mad. I gotta stop talking about Star Wars. I gotta stop talking about Star Wars. Even though I love it. Star Wars is great. Star Wars is great. And it's not Star Trek, even though Star Trek is okay. Star Wars and Star Trek are not the same thing. Alright, nerds will kill you. It's me, I'm nerds. Alright, the tetrapolar magnet. The dynamics that exist between the poles is reminiscent to that which you're going to see in the fourfold pattern. And this is prevalent in Western occultism. In the East, you'll find a lot of usage of the fivefold pattern for elements. I'm only going to get into the fivefold pattern a little bit, and I touched on it there at the end of the segment somewhat. 3 dies to 4 to rise is 5. All right, this is what I mean by that. The even numbers are the thing that are moved through. They're atmospheres, they're gateways, they're defining factors. Like if you're going to say, I'm going to go from this side of the thing to that side of the thing. Well, there's the defining factor that defines whether or not you're on this side or that side. It's like what I say, when motherfuckers say they're going to leave the physical world and never come back, but they don't know the difference between the physical and the non-physical. Well, how are you going to tell me when you've done it? Well, it's just all the same thing and it's all connected. Okay, well, how do you know when you've done it? If you can't tell me the distinction between this side and that side, you can't tell me you've done anything. Well, you can, but it's just pontification and affirmation. So you fucking up. You tripping. You're lying to yourself, basically. All right. You need to figure your map out. If you're talking about you're gonna leave the physical world and never come back, okay? And back to the elements, though. Back to the elements. And this is a crucial part in the relationship between 3 and 4. Okay. You come out of 0, you have a relationship between 1 and 2. 3 and 4 have their own relationship as well. And 3 and 4 are very intimately connected. And rightfully so, because they're pivotal moments in the entirety of manifestation. All right? Remember, just like I was saying about Christianity, the Father doesn't give the Son. The Father is the Son. What the Father gives is the world that He so loved, which is 4. All right? Look. 1 gives rise to 3 by way of 2. 1 gives rise to 3, okay? Once 3 has been given rise to, now you can add on to it. What do you add on to it? 1. What was the Father? 1. It gives itself. It gives the world that it so loved. It's the created, okay? 3, or Christ, is creation, okay? Why am I saying it's creation? Geometrically, look at it like a triangle, okay? 0, you have the blank empty space, all right? Infinite potential unexpressed. Infinite potential unexpressed. That's the 0. That's the blank slate, okay? Then you have 1, which is the point. Then you have the line, which is the 2, okay? And we've talked about this before. You're looking at a line, right? If I turn it this way, it's a point. If I turn it this way, it's a line. If you're looking at a point, to what degree you're not looking at a line? Well, you don't know. It's your perspective. If you're looking at a line from another perspective, that line is just a point. And that'll work with entire 3-dimensional realities. What you think is a linear 3-dimensional reality, from another perspective, is just a point. Niggas talking about they're going to escape the physical realm. You can't think dimensionally. I'm a multi-dimensional being, head-ass nigga. No, you're not. You can't think dimensionally, but you need to be able to think dimensionally. This is what's going to help you with that, all right? Think about it in terms of geometry. Think about it in terms of color theory and music theory, all right? It's the unfolding from nothingness to the full beauty of manifestation. You motherfuckers talking about, I want to manifest this. Well, how does manifestation work? Oh, I just think about it and I believe and it manifests. What the fuck is that? That's wish fulfillment. That's not telling about manifestation. Niggas is into methodology, and if you do not have a mastery of the principles, your methodology is hollow. Your methodology is hollow. Don't just repeat The Secret. You Oprah bookless bitch niggas. Don't just repeat The Secret. If I just think about it and I hold it within, my melanin will manifest it through my pineal activated kundalini oil. No. No. That don't make no damn sense. Ugh. Sorry, I missed on the chat. Ethan, books were better for real. Yeah, they were for real. You get more in depth in the books, man. You get more in depth. Howdy howdy. There we go. Howdy howdy. See, there we go. Thank you, Trav. See, Trav be into the Sanskrit, man. Holla Trav for the Sanskrit, man. I be fucking up. Trek Wars go hard, to be honest. Trek Wars. Trek Wars? What is that? What is that? That might be a joke. I don't know. Help me with that, though. Help me with that. Even numbers are moved through, and odd numbers are. Thank you, Larry, because I didn't finish that. Even numbers are moved through. They're feminine. Odd numbers are masculine. They're the thing that does the moving. They're centered. They're singular. Well, they start out as singular, but they have a nature of being indivisible. There we go. You can't divide them evenly. For example, a line, you can divide it evenly. A point, you can't divide it. A line, because it's one-dimensional. A point has no dimension, so there's no mechanism by which you could divide it. There's no dimension. There's no dimensionality to it. So you can't. Not only can you not divide it, but you can't even hope to divide it evenly. Okay, a line, you can do that. You can divide it evenly. A triangle, you can't divide it evenly. You can't go from any 2 points and divide it into equal halves of the same thing, really. Yeah, so that's the point. When I say divide it evenly, it's not going from a point to a line part. It's going from any of the 2 points and making even halves, okay? Because remember, the points are what's in question. When we're talking about a threefold pattern, like the triangle or the trinity, the points are what's doing the thing. The points are interconnected, okay? No, I have a picture of this. And I can use that. I have a picture of this, and I can use that. Okay, but this is what I'm going to say as I'm looking for this picture real quick. The points are interconnected. All right, that means you go from point to point to point in an outward manner. I'm pretty sure I have it here. Several exercise images. Go into the thing. So there's no images here. Really? That's what I get? No, it's cool. Damn. Where the fuck is this shit at? It should be here. This is blowing me. Where the fuck did I have these shit at? No, those are memes. Extra files. Images. Here we go. What the fuck you mean there's no images there? There's gotta be images there. I gotta look this shit up in the browser. That's what I gotta do. Fuck. No, I have images for this shit. Where did I put the images? Fuck me, right? Fuck me sideways, right? Damn it. How you gonna tell me there's no images in there? I'm mad as hell about that shit now. The folder even says fucking images. What the fuck do you mean there's no images? There's fucking images here. Alright, what if I do it like this? If I go like this. Okay, now I see the images. That's fucking weird. Here. Okay. Boom. Boom. Alright, look. I don't think you can see my mouse either. You can't see my mouse. Alright. Going from the top point up there at the top, right? You can't connect. Well, this, first and foremost, this is an interconnection. Okay? This is an interconnection where the points connect directly to one another. Mind you, the interesting thing about a triangle is that the interconnections are the same as the intra-connections. Okay? I have a square, don't I? I'm sure I got a fucking square there. Anyways,
You cannot divide this evenly by going from point to point. That's the emphasis. When it comes to something like a square, let me double check. How the fuck this shit is fucking blowing me. This shit is fucking blowing me. Here, what's this? We'll use this one. Okay, look. Going from point to point, you can make an even division. You use the intra connections. All right, see, these connections on the inside are intra connections. This connection on the outside is an inter connection, okay? The intra connections form this cross. But by way of the intra connections, you can make an even division of the even numbers, okay? And even try it out. On a pentagon, it doesn't work. You can't go from point to point to make an even half. On a hexagon or a hexagram, you can do that. You can go from point to point and make even halves. It's divisible. Odd numbers are inherently indivisible, okay? So that's the point I was making with that. The odd numbers are the thing that does the moving through. The even numbers are the things that are moved through, okay? Now, both duality and polarity are even numbers. All right, so we're talking about atmosphere, gateway, the thing that's moved through. The idea of it being an atmosphere will make more sense when I start talking about the sixfold pattern. And mind you, I've already talked about all this stuff at length in the Black Matter Lives archives. Only thing you're getting here now is not even fluffed up, polished versions of the explanations. That's what you're getting here for the most part. Where the fuck was I at? Sorry. It was the Jawas. His favorite characters is Jawas. Any books on dimensions and the Holy Trinity? The Bible. It's veiled in symbolism. Like, honestly, I don't know anyone else who's talking about dimensions and the Holy Trinity in this way. So I don't know who to suggest to you. I would suggest the Black Matter Lives archives on the channel, because they're some of the original videos I put up where I go through all this stuff in depth. Now, it's not as pretty as the shit I'm doing now. You see this shit, right? It's not as pretty as this. You know, and I ain't got no beats in there. I ain't got no nice music or graphics. You know, it's raw. It's dirty. So you got to dig through there and find them gems. And that's the work, man. That's the fun. That's the journey. It's good shit. Give myself a round of applause. It's good shit, bro. I'm telling you. Dig through the mud. You'll find it. Because I promise you I've given you all this stuff. It's in there. I go into much more depth in that shit. But feel free to ask questions about the shit. Don't just get in there and feel happy about hearing the shit. Ask some questions. Otherwise, you're not going to know that you don't know. I'm telling you. I recommend watching the videos on this page starting at the bottom. Thank you, Ryan Morrow. Thank you, Ryan Morrow. That's exactly what I'm saying. Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. Feel free to give me the smoke. That's what I'm here for. Like I said, I'm here to continue these conversations. I'm here to continue the conversation beyond wish fulfillment and affirmation. Because otherwise, you niggas ain't got shit. My grandma just bought up manifestation. Your grandma watching? Oh, what's up, Granny? What's up, Granny? See, I got niggas' grandma in here watching. What? Who else got somebody grandma in here watching? Nobody got that grandma watching. What? Stop. You know this is the shit, man. You know this is the shit. The Oprah book list. Hell yeah, the secrets on the Oprah book list. Forget my scope of reference. Nah, man. You good, bro. You good, bro. It be this part of the show that's iconic. Really? When I just started talking about shit and ranting? I guess so. I guess so, man. Hey, look. I roll in shit. I'm a terrible individual. I'm an awful example of what a good human is. I'm an awful example. I'm not going to win the human award. I'm not at all. Arius bloopers. That's like the symbol from Gravity Falls, the triangle one. I haven't watched Gravity Falls. I've heard about Gravity Falls, though. I haven't watched Gravity Falls. Take a geometry course online. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you. Bro, this shit is basic geometry. It's basic geometry. I'm telling y'all, like this shit I'm going through right now is basic elementary stuff. And motherfuckers are usually looking for the next spooky book to get into. It's going to give you all the keys. Like, no. All the keys are broken. You need to go learn how to fix keys. It's fragmented information. That's why I want to continue the conversation so we can have
information that's put into holes, that's made viable again. But if you just repeating the old shit motherfuckers been saying, this shit's fragmented. The motherfuckers who made it are gone. The reason they made it is gone. The people who went through it is gone. The shit's dead. It's scraps. It's rubble. But if you're just going to pick up the rubble and put it on your chest like, hey, look at me, I'm spooky spiritual. No, you're not. You have a piece of broken rock on your chest. No, we got to put this shit back together. And that's going to mean drawing lines and not just saying everybody's right. It can't work like that. The most you're going to get is hollow affirmations and wish fulfillment. Ineffective wish fulfillment. Fuck out of here. Of course you can manifest whatever you want. You're the one thing that's everything. What the fuck else? Of course you can do it. The question is, what is you? That's the question. What is you? What is you? I'm the ego. I tell you this all the time. I'm the ego. I tell you niggas how to defeat me and I'm still undefeated. It's ridiculous. I tell you niggas, I'm the ego. The ego says one thing. You keep blaming the ego for this. Oh, my ego doing this. My ego doing that. No, the fuck it's not. That's you and your personal pride. Get it together. That's shadow shit. The ego says one thing to you. Let me go. See, I hit you niggas with 3-word phrases or questions and you just lost. You just lost. Motherfucker will sit there and pontificate for 5 hours and y'all motherfuckers be like, check, fire, facts. I give you 3 words and you just, what do I do? What do you mean? And what do you think to look the words up? And there's no such thing as the dictionary. It's a dictionary. Fuck, man. It's like all these little things niggas do. It pisses me off. But I get it because I used to do it. And I know those things were the crux of why I continue to fail. Fuck me. God. It's okay though. Trav, hey, I want grandma's. Yeah, Trav. I'm like, grandma'd up, nigga. Grandma'd up, nigga. That's what's up, bro. What do you think of black root science? Have you heard of that one? Black root science. Unless you're talking about, I don't think you're talking about plants that have black roots because plants' roots are generally white because they're not trying to absorb light from down there. They absorb oxygen, but not light. I don't think I know what you're talking about, but I will tell you this. When the motherfucker because motherfuckers love to say science. They love to say science. So I hope whatever you're talking about is actually, taking some controversy on. Because if they aren't taking no controversy, I'm above debating. It's not science. I'll tell you that right now. Adding black in front of it, I'm skeptical about that. I'm skeptical about that because motherfuckers try to make race science. And I already had the segment about what race is. Race is not skin color. It's a caste system. Racism is literally white culture. It's not a moral question. It's not about morality. It's about the fact that before white was created, there was no racism. We never called ourselves black people. Niggas try to do the Kemet shit. The black land. No, nigga, no. That was the black land and the red land. It's not because of the people's skin color. So when you say black root science, I'm a little, I ain't heard of it, but just hearing that construction of words, I'm a little iffy. But I'm open to the shit. So I may look it up later today. Hey, the occult rant videos are my favorite. Hey, did a good rant. I guess I'll be ranting on the show. So that's what motherfuckers come for, man. But look, when I rant, that's when I get into the good shit. Like motherfuckers be looking for a 5-minute video and get all the keys. And how you feel like you know some shit, you watched a 5-minute video. All you can get is an introduction to some shit. Motherfuckers really out here trying to get this shit quick and fast. This ain't TikTok. This ain't TikTok, nigga. I'm a grown man. I'm an old man. I don't tweet. Tweeting is for little baby birds. I don't TikTok and I don't tweet. Fuck out of here, nigga. You gonna get this long shit. You gonna have to fuck with me the long way. Fuck you mean. The language of the universe is math. Me being horrible at math. And you can say that. Look, before... And I won't completely disagree with the idea that the language of the universe is math. But what I will say, what I would like to remind you is that numbers are symbols for quantities, and the quantities have qualities. And this is what I've been talking about, like the one-fold pattern, the two-fold pattern, three-fold pattern, four-fold pattern. You know, motherfuckers talk about chakras. That's the seven-fold pattern. It's not spooky glands in your physical body. Like, bro, the seven-fold pattern is what seals the eight and the nine-fold pattern together. A square and a circle, they nest with each other perfectly at a ratio of 9 to 8. Okay, there are 7 points along that. Fuck, do I even have the fucking picture? God damn it! I should have had the fucking picture too. What is this picture? No, that's not a picture. That's not the picture I want. Anyways, at a ratio of 9 to 8, meaning the diameter of the circle is 9, the size of the square 8, okay? At a ratio of 9 to 8, you can nest a circle and a square together perfectly. Circle being 1, unity, wholeness. Square being 4, the world, the expression coming out of the 3, the triune, the triple, the Trinity, the expression that comes out of the Trinity, the world that the Father so loved. Earth, not the planet. Not the planet, the most high and the most low. The most high and the most low nest together at a perfect ratio at 9 to 8. The 9 to 8 is a perfect ratio. The 7 points along there are what seal that relationship together. See, you'll talk about 6 being harmony, which is the bringing together of two different threes. Two, I guess you could say forces in and of themselves. Niggas love to say energy. I hate the word energy these days, but I'm going to get into that one. Anyways, you're bringing the 2 threes together. Okay, and this is part of the reason I say fire and water, they don't harmonize. They don't harmonize unless, of course, air comes along. That new thing. See, when you have the two threes coming together, like two triangles, there's a point that severs them, that seals them. They call the sevenfold pattern the 7 seals. It seals the two together. All right, that's what the sevenfold pattern is doing. It's reflected in anything that can express physically. All right, now where the centers are most active is going to determine the quality or the nature of the thing and how it expressed, like living things. You know, you're going to have all 7 of those seals working in some type of a way, but these inanimate things, they got their own seals. Because what is the physical world? It's all one thing. It's the appearance of a place. It's the appearance of a place. Like, I cannot stress that enough. The physical world is the appearance of a place. I'm not saying it's not real, but it's not what it appears to be. You turn on a video game, that's the appearance of a place. Yes, there are rules in that shit. There are dynamics. There's laws. There's physics to some of these games nowadays. You know, you hit a motherfucker in Skyrim, he died, he just ragdoll on the floor. You know, there's some physics to that. The shit's funny, but there's some physics to it. There are rules, dynamics, and laws within that appearance of a place. But it's the appearance of a place. The appearance that you get there is based on the place that gave rise to it. Like, I seen something on Instagram the other day. What's it the other? Maybe 2 days ago. Guy was talking about time space. See, Western scientists are just now getting into time space. Time space is simple. What I told you about: the primordial, time space, and space time. All right, that's the Trinity right there. If you know the dynamics of the Trinity, you understand the dynamics of how that works. It's really simple. It's not some confusing fuck thing. What you got, the more complex thing, I'll say rather, is figuring out how your linear conception of physical life amounts to that, where that falls into all of these things. It's making the continuity. It's understanding the entire framework is what's difficult, really. It's what confuses people. But the basic principles of it aren't confusing. So when you get into all that, the formulas in math, those things are difficult. Like, I'm gonna tell you somebody to look up, because I was looking at this shit the other day. Come the fuck on. I gotta go to history. What's this guy's name? Dewey Larson. All right, look up him. He some of the ideas that he came out with will help to simplify some of these ideas. Like a lot of the equations they use can be reduced to a ratio of time and space, of time to space, okay? Time and space, the nature, or no, the dynamic involved in how time and space interact is the same dynamic you're going to find in how 3 and 4 react, okay? With 3, X, Y, and Z axis is empty space. X, Y, and Z axis is empty space. This is creation itself. This is creation itself. The X, Y, Z axis is an empty space. If you want to talk about it in just geometric shapes, it's the triangle. It's the first shape. Well, it's the first shape that exists, first of all, but what makes it a shape is the fact that you can contain that infinite unexpressed potential. You can give it definition. Okay, a triangle gives definition to that empty space. Where's the empty space? The triangle. Why is it doing this? Why don't I just see them in there? That's weird. Anyways. All right, look. You got the empty space, right? You got the empty space. The triangle gives definition to the empty space. See, all this time you're looking at the stuff, you're looking at the points in there, and that's not what's changing. That's the apparent side. That's the express side. What's changing the whole time is the empty space. It's the empty space that is being conditioned. And as it's conditioned, the expression or the manifestation or the form, the outward expression of that, is what we're going to call the points, the lines, and the geometric shapes. It's the empty space that's changing. So the triangle is the first instance where that empty space it has a self within itself. It's the first time you can have that. That's the significance of 3. This is creation, and all other geometric shapes are based on a triangle. So there's a distinction between creation and the created. 3 is creation. 4 is going to be the created. All right. This is why 4 is the grace of God. It's time. Time is the grace of God, because without time, nothing could express on those axes. It had to express over time. Past, present, and future. It had to express over time. So without the flow of time, which is the grace of God, gave the world that the Father so loved. That's the world the Father so loved. That's the grace of God. It's time. It's time expressing across that X, Y, and Z axis. It's easy stuff. It's easy stuff. It's very simple stuff, guys. So you don't even have to get caught up in all the equations of what people talk about mathematics. What you really need to do is go into the theory, the principles behind mathematics. When you understand those, then you can go back and look at the things that have been built on top of the principles. Then those things will make sense. That's what you have to do. Where was I at? This man, same old me laughing, but it's funny, right? Ethan says, I just Ganesha do the numbers. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Ethan. I don't know what that means. I lied. The ego, let me go. Me, I'll kiss you on your forehead. Kevin, what the fuck? Kevin Gates said that shit? Oh, man, chill out, bro. Let me go. What the fuck? Yeah, I heard Kevin Gates had some kind of interview. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. His psychedelic interview was cool. Okay, I guess he was talking about psychedelics, or maybe he was on psychedelics. I don't know. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. I think it's funny in passing, but I don't care. I'm not even gonna lie to you. 1, honest John question. Before you end, why do you say birds are fake? I've been looking at birds with that thought in mind. I say it because it's funny and it's controversial, and I don't actually believe birds are fake. I've had birds. I've had birds before. Birds aren't fake. But it's like the flat earth shit. It's one of these conspiracies. You know, it's one of these things where you can look into it and you can go down this ridiculous rabbit hole. You know, there's rabbit holes for all kind of shit. Birds are fake. Birds aren't real. I love that shit, y'all. Yo, look at it. It's funny. It's funny. That's the biggest thing. You can look at it and there's a whole rabbit hole to go down, and it's just ridiculous and hilarious. Birds aren't real. Zohan, good to see you in the chat. Good to see you in the chat, sir. Leah said we at boot camp today. All right. Yo, and so once I get some of this course material started up or finished up, I'm gonna bring back boot camp. I'm gonna bring back boot camp once I get this course material set up. Because I keep trying to figure out how I want to do this. I'm getting much closer, so you have to forgive me. I'm doing this all by myself. Never done it before, but that's what I'm working on. Yeah, I'm working on the course material because I want to make that course material on point. Because I don't want to just. It's just the same thing with the boot camp. I don't like when motherfuckers just come and they just talk at you and then you're done. Like, no, I want to have somewhere where I take you, somewhere you go. You know, and there's different shit I gotta teach. Like, I want to get all this metaphysics stuff in one course. So just in case a motherfucker don't want to go dig through the dirt, you can pay money and I'll lead you through the dirt. I'll lead you through the dirt. You never seen a baby pigeon? Hell yeah, you never seen a baby pigeon? Oh, birds are real. I love saying that shit on Thanksgiving, bro. All right, look, I was talking about the fucking fourfold pattern. All right, creation and the created. All right, so yeah, making the distinction between creation and the created. Okay. Like that was part of the Nicene controversy, I think. With the whole was Christ divine or a creation of the Most High, some type of a creature? That was part of the Nicene controversy. Arius. No, you don't know. You don't know. You have no idea. This is the other thing I want to get to. You're doing a great job, bro. God body. yeah, I'm sure you did just to annoy me. God body, goobly gob. It was a troll until enough people took it seriously. Right? Look, that's the shit about flat earth. Yo, this shit's a troll until niggas take it seriously. You gotta survive and fight for your life in boot camp. Look, you thought boot camp was hard? I'm about to kick your ass with this other coursework. I designed boot camp to be nice, to be easier, you know? So I'm about to kick ass then. Hell yeah, that's how it should be. All right, check me out. This is the other thing I wanted to get into. I'm at 212. Fuck, bro. Anyway, this is the other thing I wanted to get into with the fourfold pattern. The four trees of life. Yeah, let me pull that shit back up real quick. It's created of electron with to the most low. Eyes giving rest with Malkuth forming a square at the base. Boom. That's where it is. All right. Look at this one. And I know I had the other. Where's the other image I had? No, it's not going to be in here, is it? It's going to be. No, it's not going to be there. Fuck me, man. I should keep images for the show. I know, right? I should organize that, but I don't. I haven't. Yeah, I'm a fuck up. Right. Okay, cool. Anyways. All right. I've shown y'all that 90-degree angle with the perpendicular line, right? I've shown you that before with the primordial, the non-physical, and the physical. All right, here's another way we can talk about it. And I want to include this because I think it's pertinent. Because I usually talk about the diagrams from Kabbalah. And the only reason I talk about Kabbalah is not because I'm telling you that what I'm saying is Kabbalah. I'm using it because what Kabbalah is it's not only is a framework, but it's a map of manifestation. You know, that's what they'll even tell you when you get into the shit. It's a map of reality. All right. And if you can read the map, like just having the map and showing niggas you have the map, don't mean you know how to navigate it. Okay? So this is some of the stuff I'm talking about because there's different ways to look at the same thing. Anyways, you have what are called the four worlds in Kabbalah, or in some expressions they'll show them as four different trees of life, which is what I did in the segment. All right. Here's a way to look at that. Remember, the primordial is, for all intents and purposes, it's the empty space. All right, it's not necessarily empty. So I'll go the quotes. Empty space. Okay, if you're looking at, I'm gonna go this way. If you're looking at this particular geometric shape, the point at the top expresses itself from the empty space into four different angles. Now you could say it's the faces of the pyramid, or you can say it's the lines. That's a point for debate. I prefer to say the lines because I think the lines give rise to the faces. But you could, once again, you could say it the opposite way. But here's your four worlds or the Kabbalah. Okay, four trees of life. One Kalipov, the empty space. Four trees of life. All right, these four trees of life connecting at the base to form that square, Malkuth. Okay, so you have the pillars of the physical world, I would say, which are those four different Malkuths giving rise to the whole one Malkuth. And like Malkuth is an interesting motherfucker, okay? Because remember, I don't know if I want to say polarity or duality in this situation because I'm talking about a trinity, but there's a bit of a polarity to it. Anyways, I'll stay with duality, okay? Where the two are defining one another. When you're looking at the tree of life, Malkuth is triple dense, okay? The rest of the Sephiroths have a singular density to them. Malkuth is triple dense. It's in a dual relationship with the highest parts, okay? And when you're looking at the highest parts, you have the empty space. You have what's it, Kether? Is that the very first Sephiroth? Yeah, I'm not good with the names of them. I don't care what the names. I don't care what your name is. I just want to know what your role is. Like, hey guys, that's Stu over there. Like, I don't give a fuck. What's his name? What's he doing? Oh, he's the pitcher. Okay, cool. That's what he's doing. That's why he's here. That's why he's important. So that's what I'm usually concerned about is what the fuck the dynamic is. What is it doing? All right, that first Sephiroth. So you got the empty space, the first Sephiroth, and then the next 8. Okay, that first one and those next 8 have a relationship with each other. They're creating 9. Malkuth is 10, 11, and 12, really, if you're going to extend it to 12. All right, if you're going to extend your framework to 12. Generally, people extend their frameworks to 12. Why? Because 3 times 4 is 12. Why is 3 times 4 even 12 even significant? All right, 3 plus 4 is 7. First, when you have 3 giving rise to 4, the creation and the created, you can't add them. You can't add, if you only have 3, you can't add 4 because there's no 4 yet. 3 is giving rise to the 4. Now, once 3 gives rise to 4, just like 0 gives rise to 1, once 3 gives rise to 4, then you can put them together. All right, just like we were talking about the Father gives the world that he so loved. Once 1 gives rise to 3, then you can add another 1 making 4. Once 3 gives rise to 4, then you can add them together. That's 7. But adding them together, multiplication is an outgrowth of the process of addition. Okay, so once you can add them together, you can mix them. You mix them with multiplication. All right, that's what gives you the entire map of how the fourfold pattern works because it's intimately connected with the threefold pattern. So this shows you the entire intimate relationship between the two. But I'm going to save all that discussion when I talk about the zodiac because that's where the 12-fold pattern makes the most sense. Okay, is in the zodiac. And remember, the zodiac is not astrology. Astrology uses the zodiac. The zodiac is the 12-fold pattern. Astrology takes astronomy and maps the 12-fold pattern across the sky. Okay, astrology uses astronomy and the zodiac. So it's not necessarily that it's the planets that are doing the thing, even though there's an effect. It's not the premises. There we go. The premises isn't the planets. It's the 12-fold pattern. You can only use it because we move in an elliptical pattern, a circular pattern. That's why the 12-fold pattern is relative. Because what are we talking about? Unity. We're talking about a whole divided into 12 units, okay? Remember, it all goes back to unity, to the whole. It's all one thing. All right? It's all one thing. And if you understand the principles about how that one thing can be anything, all things, and everything, then you realize, bro, you never left fucking Kansas. You never left Kansas. You don't have to escape the physical world. You gotta let me go. Let me go. What is the me? What is the me? I don't know. You the one decide to build it up. You decide, this is the best one for me. What's me? Let that shit go. Let that thing go. Give back 10%. They talk about tithing in Christianity. Give back 10%. Malkuth is 10% of the whole tree. Give back 10%. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Does that coin have his face on it? Give it back to Caesar. That's his. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Let Malkuth go. Let me go. Once you do, you'll have the rest of what it is you are, and it'll be plain. But you gotta let me go. Anyways. So yeah, this is my interpretation of the four worlds. Okay, when it comes to the four trees of life, where the Malkuths are connected relatively in creating this square, but they have a central point of origin, which is going to be the clip off, which is coming out of that empty space. Empty space, because there's form to it. The clip off is expressing the pre-heaven form. There's a pre-heaven and a post-heaven. You'll even hear about this in Taoism. I'll explain it to Christianity because everybody knows Christianity. The pre-heaven form includes Lucifer. This is heaven when Lucifer was just chilling with God. You know, he's just my homie. This is my nigga. We good. We ain't got no controversy. The post-heaven is after the fall of Lucifer. Okay, this is what creates the series of events that are going to give rise to Earth, or the Moth Low. Remember, it's not a literal interpretation. The story is describing a process. Because the fall of Lucifer was necessary for the expression of the clip off, the fall of Adam was necessary for getting into the tree of life. And the fall of Christ is necessary for navigating Malkuth, because once you do that, you rise. It's all necessary. It's not, oh man, if so-and-so would have done this. No, it's necessary shit. It's all consequence. It's a sequence of events that are all necessary. It's telling a story. It's not literal shit. Fucking flat earthers. Idiots. That's how it should be. Don't be nice and easy. Hey, man, I ain't trying to be nice. Because then you're not going to get it. Yeah, I'm an acquired taste. Man. All right, we need challenges for real. Yes, sir, Z. Yes, sir. We need to challenge ourselves. Because ain't nobody else do it for you. Ain't nobody else obligated to do it. You need to challenge yourself. See, niggas is lucky I'm here to challenge you. Otherwise, you just go around getting fires, checks, and emojis. You know? Motherfuckers just circle jerking you, telling you right because they feel good about hearing whatever you said because it affirms their own bullshit. Fuck out of here. Yeah, you need a nigga like me to challenge you. See? Hey, man, look, I'm going to tell you a fake, a phony, and a fraud. You capping. But was I lying? No. No, you said it arrogantly. You sound angry. Why are you yelling? Was I wrong? No. Zodiac. Hit us with a hood story time. Story time. Chakras. 3 give rise to 4. Zodiac 3 times 4. Exactly. Chakras 3 plus 4. Exactly. And multiplication is an outgrowth of addition. Yes, sir. See, you get into the principles of mathematics, the shit they're doing will make more sense. I'm telling you. Astrology equals study of the zodiac. Not necessarily. No. Astrology is taking astronomy and mapping the zodiac across it. All right? The study of the zodiac is metaphysical. You're studying the 12-fold pattern. That's what the zodiac is. Astrology is taking the 12-fold pattern and then taking astronomy and putting them together. It's not even... Look, astrology isn't astronomy. Astronomy is studying the celestial bodies. That's what that is. Zodiac is metaphysics. It's studying the 12-fold pattern. Astrology takes the two. Because the reason astrology works is because we move an elliptical pattern. It's a cycle. It's a circle. Just like the same reason numerology works. Because the numbers move in a cycle. Once you get to 9, the thing starts over again. And then it does it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And you can find patterns in that cycle. That's what numerology and astrology are doing. They're just finding patterns in a cycle. The pattern they're using is the 12-fold pattern. The cycle they're using is the cycle that they find in the celestial body, the movement of the celestial bodies, or the music of the spheres, if you will. So they're not necessarily studying the zodiac. They use the zodiac. You can study the zodiac without looking at the stars. Exactly, Ryan. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can study the zodiac without looking at the stars at all. It's the 12-fold pattern. That's what the zodiac is. Like I said, man, no cap. I've been kissing ego on his forehead. I need to let it go and start studying and reestablish. Look, yeah, man, that's the shit, bro. Look, letting the ego go. It can be a daunting task if you don't have something else to grab onto. This is why I get y'all into the non-physical conception of self. Because look, and it's not, and when I say let the ego go, it's not that you got to get rid of it. You're not going to get rid of it. It's the defining lines. It's the defining lines. All right, the defining lines that make a thing. All right, it's illusion. I'm telling you, you can't. You have to be able to let it go. You're not going to get rid of it. All right, so once you can let it go and start to get a grasp on what the self is that you've already been building and what you like to build, then you can work with the motherfucker. But until you can learn to let it go, at least initially, you're going to be working against yourself. You'll be fighting yourself and blaming something else. And it's not just having an ego death. The ego don't die. You let it go for a moment. But you need to be able to consciously and intentionally let it go. And you start that out by letting go of that idea of me. Not to get rid of it and destroy it and go beyond all limitations. Like, no, that's not the point. Make the distinction. Learn to make the distinction between what yourself is and that me that you've been using. It's subtle. It's subtle, I'm telling you. Well, hell yeah, man. The study you need to be studying is the symbolism we went over in the fucking consoles, bruh. The symbolism that was right there under the surface, that was clothing the different deities you've been using. That's the symbolism you need to be looking at. Like, fuck the spooky books. Bro, I'm telling you, the spooky books ain't got it in there. They ain't got it in there. I'm not gonna say there's no way I've read all the spooky books. Not the case. I've read a lot of the spooky books. Not to do what they told me to do. I wanted to know why I would even do what they were saying to do. And there's some cases like what Trav mentioned, Franz Barden. I remember when I first picked up Franz Barden, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some of these things. And I was so pissed after a while because I was like, why am I doing this? That's part of what got me into metaphysics. Like, why am I doing this? Putting water in my eye, I just got up. What's the point of this shit? That's what led me to drop a whole bunch of stuff. All right, look, you don't want to just be looking for a new methodology. You got to understand the principles behind the shit you're dealing with. You got to understand the principles, because once you understand the principles, your methodology will be obvious. I'm telling you. Oh, so why you need to. Caught me in 4K to comprehend what self is. The hero's story. It's the only story it's ever told. It's almost like I like to say, the Zodiac is the story of fire. It's the hero's journey. It's the journey of fire. You shift that shit, it'll be the story of water. I'll get to that in the Zodiac segment. I'm telling you. I've even done a video about the Zodiac. So I've already given y'all niggas this shit. I'm telling you. Thanks for the correction. No problem, bro. It's subtlety. It's the subtle distinction. Subtle distinction, bro. Got you. All right, what the fuck was I talking about before? I went over the 4 trees of life. I still got one more segment. And it's not even a long segment. And I'm hoping it'll connect some of the other things I've been talking about. I need to find these images while I do this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this segment. Where is this? Hold on. Why is this up here? Oh, this is from the video. That's why. Okay. Yeah, that's from the video. All right. I'm going to play this last segment. I'm going to look for these other images. Because I'm actually kind of going to go in a little bit. I'm hoping to. Here we go, y'all. Check this out. They're nesting. This is a tetrapolar magnet. We've spoken about the tetrapolar magnet. Because at 2, you can only have correspondence. You can't have polarity. Why? Because the north and south pole are going to create an east and west pole, which is 4. Tetrapolar magnet. All magnets are tetrapolar magnets, regardless of whether or not you like to acknowledge it. Okay?
that north and south is going to generate east and west. But you couldn't have north and south without the concepts of 1 and 2. This is where, but that what we're calling polarity is built off of the correspondence inherent between north and south. Okay? So that correspondence had to be there first. Because what was there before the capacity for correspondence? The one thing that is all things, i.e. one. The one thing that is all things, one. And what's before that? Nothing. You have nothing and then everything. But you can't really do much with that shit. We've already talked about that. You gotta go down to 3, and that's when you at least have the potential to start doing something with some shit. This is where I talked about the Trinity, did the whole video on the fucking Trinity. The Trinity is significant for a reason. Why? Because after that, the Father gives the Son the world that he so loved. What's the world that he so loved? 4.
Yeah, you're right. I couldn't fit all that shit into an hour. I could have, but then I have to, which is part of what I'm working with, and part of my shit in this coursework, because I'm trying to fit all this shit into fucking segments, and I don't want to make this shit too extensive, because then if I lean into it too much, I'm gonna overwork myself and undercut myself. I'm not about to do that shit. Fuck no. Which is part of the reason I have my consultations. Look, I give you the option for an hour. I'd rather it be longer than an hour, but because there's shit to go over, there's details. But you know, hey, you tell me what you need, whatever the fuck, right? Look, okay, let me get this image. And I'm in the coursework, I'm gonna try and get back to using those diagrams. I slipped off of them because I had a whole bunch of things to fucking build, to fucking do. But I'm gonna get back into those shits. Now, this is where I put that. Don't show me there's no... Okay, cool. There's fucking shit. There's fucking shit. Okay. Let me find the one I wanted to show. I think this is it. Yeah, I'll use this one. Alright, show me the image. There we go. Boom. Alright. I've talked to you about the 3-fold pattern, the 4-fold pattern, the 2-fold pattern, the 1-fold pattern, okay? Really simple. When I say the physical world is one thing, it's one thing. It's the appearance of a place. What is an organism? It's a collection of cells. What is a cell? A collection of molecules. What is a molecule? A collection of atoms. Okay, well then what's a planet? What's a planet? It's a unit within a solar system. What's a solar system? It's a unit within a galaxy. What's a galaxy? It's a unit within a cosmos. Look, this is your macro and micro within the physical world. It's the appearance of a thing. It's the appearance of a thing. It divides itself into 4-fold patterns, okay? You use the duality of these different patterns to see through. You're seeing through the middle part. You're looking in through the middle. The physical body is like a hole in the wall, and you're peeking through the hole in the wall to see this room over here, okay? If you're talking about any of these different symmetries of space-time, you're still in space-time. You're not looking at the physical. You're not looking at the non-physical world. All right. If you're looking at an apple, and that apple needs cells and molecules and has to come from a tree, that's the physical world. I'm not going to say it's not real, but it's not what it appears to be. It's an outward expression of something. Okay, if you're dealing with the non-physical world, you've got to go through the center, through the idea of what yourself is. And if you think what yourself is one of these symmetries of space-time, you missed it. It's not the body. It's not some gland in the body. It's not special cell oil. There's no occult biology. There's no occult biology, kids. It's not a thing. It's pontification again. That stuff is descriptions of behavior of the physical world, okay? Are you a dualist? No, not at all. And you want to try... Look, I fuck with Descartes. Like I tell y'all, philosophy of mind. I fuck with Descartes. But the thing is, Descartes didn't reconcile the issue I guess you could say mind and matter, physical and non-physical. Okay, just like the guy I was talking about the other day on Instagram, who was talking about time space. He put it in a dual framework where all there was time space and space time. And I said, no, you can't do that. Why can't you do that? The Trinity. As soon as you have two, you have three. It can't stop at two. You could probably stop at one, but then if you stop at one, there's only one. As soon as you enter two, you have three. It has to be at least three. He was missing the primordial aspect. Look, I wish you could see my mouse. You can't see my mouse. All right, I'll go like this. And I'll do it with my other hand. All right. You see the three circles? There's one at the bottom, one at the top, and one in the middle. All right? Three circles. Three is one. You're seeing the Father, you're seeing the Son. Okay? Once again, this is just the physical world. Now, let me use the other picture. Let me use the other picture because I want to emphasize the fact that this is just the physical world. There we go. Boom. Okay, look. This is just the physical world. This is just Malkuth. This is just the root chakra of your being. Okay? Once again, if you're the whole damn thing, the root chakra of what you are is all of the physical world. All of Malkuth. Okay? All of that shit. Anyways, go back here. This is just the physical world. This is the 12-fold pattern. All right, this is how it's expressing itself. Oh shit, I got comments. Rene Descartes. Yeah, Rene Descartes. He gets into dualism. Where do I get these maps you created? Gilded, boot camp. When you gonna give up the diagrams? The diagrams are in the videos, but I'm gonna be using this one. Point over here. There we go. I'm gonna be using some of these other ones in the coursework. That's why I had to redesign them to make sure I could have them set up for the coursework. So I'm gonna get into this shit in the coursework, but you had to go through the boot camp to get to the coursework. So if you haven't taken the boot camp, you're going to be waiting till I start it back up. Try to tell niggas. But niggas, it's alright. Just go sun gaze. Head ass niggas. This sun gazing. You can upgrade your organism. Fuck out of here. DNA is particulate matter again. Melanin is particulate matter. It's one of these symmetries of space-time. Okay? Alright, anyways. I have the three circles on there, right? I'll use this hand. I have the three circles on there, right? What I'm marking off is a delineation on perception. This is what I mean by that. This is part of the reason why quantum physics is not your answer. Because all you're going to do is shift where your center is. All right? You have the center, the top of your perception, and the bottom. All you're going to do is shift where your center is. And your center is going to move down to that under the atomic level. And you're just going to get a new fourfold pattern. Why fourfold pattern? Because you're five. Christ has already done the work. As soon as you're one thing, you're five dimensions. You have at least five dimensions to you. Why? Because Christ has already died for your sins. 3 already died to 4 to give rise to 5. That's why you can experience a 3-dimensional reality. 3 and 4's intimate relationship, okay? This is an expression of 3 and 4's intimate relationship in its most dense sense. All the way at Malkuth, all the way down at the bottom. Okay, like I said, it's triple dense. It's triple dense. It's part of what frames your capacity to have a perception in physical life. Part of seeing is not seeing. What do I mean by that? The things you don't see define the things you do see. I can see a hand, right? But I can only see a hand because I don't at the same time see the cells, molecules, or atoms. I don't see them. But because I don't see them, they give definition to the hand. Like if I could see the atoms right now, how could I distinguish these atoms from the atoms of the air? If I get down here into subatomic particles and quantum whatchamacallits, I'm just shifting. That's it. All you're doing is shifting your perspective in the physical world. That's not where you want to go. Look, if you go above the clusters of galaxies, what are you going to find? Superclusters. Oh, great. That's real descriptive, real creative Western science. Superclusters. It's the same damn thing. It's infinitely repeating itself. It's a hologram. So trying to find the largest or smallest piece of the hologram ain't gonna get you the thing. You have to go within. All right. So when you're in the middle of this, when you're experiencing the life of this organism, okay, it's likened into the life of a cosmos. Okay, it's likened to, like, I was talking to somebody who was talking about flat Earth, and I was telling him, like, look, what do you think an atom's perspective is existing in a cell? Do you think it's like, well, you can't see the curvature of the cell? Like, nigga, do you know how small an atom is compared to a cell? You're underestimating how tiny your meat bag is compared to this ball of rock, this living ball of rock. All right? It's not to say Neil deGrasse Tyson wants you to believe there's nothing more and that you're insignificant. No. Look up chaos theory, roving attractors. The center of every single thing here is the center of it. It's like a hologram. It's literally a hologram. It's not saying that shit just for affirmation. It's literally a hologram. It's literally a hologram. It's the appearance of a place. None of these things are their own thing. There's something else. That's something else. That's something else. That's something else. They're appearing to be something. It's the appearing. That's why the physical world is illusionary. To go within is in the direction, it's in the direction of that I. Anybody who took the boot camp, I had you watch Flatland, right? Those who were in line land could not perceive the directions of Flatland. Those who were in Flatland could not perceive the directions of those who were in the 3D world. Those in the 3D world cannot perceive the directions beyond 3 dimensions. You're going in the wrong direction if you're talking quantum anything. Period. You're moving in the wrong direction. I talked about this in a consultation I did the other day, and because I had to show him the direction. Like, look, this way is wrong. Here, look over there. Over where? Over there. Where? Over there. You have to be moving in the right direction. And it doesn't mean moving your meat bag at all. What is you? Go that way. Trap card. What? Oh. Where do I get these maps from? Go ahead. I'm reading Dark Light Conscious. Cosmic Chlorophyll says this. I'm reading Dark Light Consciousness again. He talks about time space, but he also talks about Eastern philosophy and practices. When I reread, he mentions Prakriti, so I'm getting a better understanding. See, I'm going to have to listen to more Trav stuff, man. Talk about the Prakriti. Because look. I'm not saying anything is wrong with Trav stuff. It's perfectly fine. This is my confusion with the stuff. Is that I got to learn a different language to figure out that framework. That's why I don't. That's my only hold up on it. It's not even his Trav's information. It's Vedic information. Trav is just talking about it. He's talking about the books. That's what they're studying. So it's not about Trav. It's about going back to things like Vedic information, like Prakriti. But then again, this is what words are used for. Especially the English language works like this. It'll just adopt other words, like the Catholic Church. You know, I get it. Eastern philosophy has a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm not going to say it's not right. There's no more than Western philosophy right. But I try and stick to things that people already know. And then people don't even know what they think they know. So you know what? Fuck it. Right? Fuck it. But the thing about time space, if you're talking time space, you don't just want to leave it at a dual thing where you're talking space-time and time-space, because then you're going back into dualism. You want to make sure you keep in mind the third aspect, which is the primordial. I wouldn't even say it's the third aspect, but it's you need 3 elements or units in the unity. Otherwise, it's not going to work. All right, because I've heard them mention Prakriti. Yeah, I can't do the Sanskrit words, man. English hard enough for me. Sounds like non-dualism. Could possibly be. It look really in terms of different philosophies of mind, it has a tendency towards idealism. When I first started doing this shit, uh, I called it absolute dualistic idealism, which looking back on it now, it's probably a better way to say that, but that's the way I said it. Absolute dualistic idealism. Because I was finding different things in different places that fit together for what I was explaining. But idealism hits the hardest. If you want to look up a guy named Bernardo Castro, he has some interesting ideas on idealism. It sounds like quantum physics is an outward expression of the primordial or the unseen. The unseen. The unseen is an outward expression of the primordial, and the seen is an outward expression of the unseen. Quantum physics is another version of the seen. All right, all you've done is shift down. Because look, this center circle, that's your center of perception. That's the point from where you're perceiving. Okay? If you go to quantum physics, all you're doing is shifting that point down. All right? The whole scale just shifts. And all this scale is appearances. Because none of them are their own thing. None of them are their own thing. See, the thing that is you, the perception, that's indivisible. That's indivisible. It's not indefinable because it's been defined. It's indivisible. It doesn't need other things to be what it is. The organism needs other things to be what it is. The things that it needed need other things to be what they are. All of them are the appearance of a thing, and they're not the thing in itself, in and of itself. They're the appearance of the thing. All these physical world things, like the quantum world, is just an extension of the physical world. It's extending deeper into the physical world. So yeah, Dawson, it's not the thing you want. It's not spiritual. It's not spiritual. That's my biggest thing. The quantum shit is not spiritual. It's a continuation of the same Western science and particulate matter that they've been exploring. Basically, the physical quantum is a projection, expression, residue of the spiritual. It's the residue, yeah. It's the lowest, densest part. If you boil a pot of salt water and look, oh, it looks just like water, and you boil it all off, all the steam goes away. What's left? Earth, the residue. We talked about the four elements, fire and water. You boil all that shit away, the viable part goes away as the steam. What's left, the residue, is earth, is that shit that's going to be left in your pot. People drawn on a paper can't perceive the artist. Look, and it's the analogy, it's the dynamic, it's the relationship between the two. Exactly. You the motherfucker that drew that me. But if you think you the me, you can't perceive the artist. But once you can pull back and know yourself as the artist, see yourself as the artist, it'll make more sense. I'm telling you. There we go. See, y'all don't sleep on Maestro, man. Don't sleep on Maestro. Well, yeah. Scientists will keep finding new particles the further they keep going deeper. Exactly. They're always going to find new particles because it's about the fact that they're making measurements. It's the act of measurement that's doing it. Okay. How much space is right here? It's infinite. It's an infinite amount of space here. So I can measure it to try and make a determination about how something is going to how something is going to behave. You need to make measurements in order to do Western science. But the whole philosophy behind measurements is what's fucking them in the first place. That's why they came up with things like Planck distances. Or they say at one point that the atom was the smallest thing, because you need some type of irreducible. What they're doing is creating irreducibles. They're creating a closed system. But no closed system exists in actuality. That's the issue with physics. Prakriti is energy as opposed to Purushu, which is awareness. Okay, so it's like a Shiv Shakti thing. It's like a Shiv Shakti thing. Thank you, same old me. Because awareness and energy. And I hate the word energy. I get what you're saying, but I hate the word energy. I have to come up with something new. I have to come up with a new language. And that's part of the reason I do this stuff, though, is because I want to come up with a language for having discussions about these things. It's not just whatever you want to call it, you know? We got to draw some lines and make some distinctions so that things can make some sense. And see, look, that was my thing about the Sanskrit words, right? I can just say energy and awareness. And you get what I mean. But when I say prakriti and purushu, now there's an additional layer of comprehension that I have to get through. You know, and the thing that happens with people when they do stuff like that sometimes is that they get caught up in the new words they're saying. Like when I was first coming out with this shit, I was thinking about making new words for things like the one-fold pattern or the two-fold pattern or the three-fold pattern. Like making a word to describe what that is. Because that's what words do. They contain things. I get it. But as soon as I did, I was like, motherfuckers gonna get caught up in the new word. And as soon as they can say the new word, now they'll assume that they get it. And I'm like, I don't want niggas to do that because I'm gonna get mad at them. But then I'm the one that set them up to do that. So like, no, I'm gonna say one-fold pattern. I'm gonna say the two-fold pattern, the three-fold pattern, the Trinity. I'm gonna say shit you already know because it's about questioning what you already know and not getting a whole new thing. Because I'm telling you, the thing you're looking for, you already have. It's in your hand. But you think that's somebody else's hand. Oh my God. The Wheel of Fortune would be a good graphic to show how the scale changes, but it's always in the center. The Wheel of Fortune, like the tarot card? I know it's not the game show. What you mean by the Wheel of Fortune? Like the tarot card? Same with me says, bruh said I'm not a dualist at all. I'm an absolute dualistic idealist. Bruh, that was the title I had when I first started this shit out. When I first started getting into metaphysics and philosophy of mind. And I looked at what I was messing with. I'm like, okay, if this is a philosophy of mind, what would I entitle it? And that's what I came up with when I just started. I could probably look back at that shit and think of something different, really. But just so you know, that's what I started out with. Thanks, you all. Great analogies, man. Purusha is then Shiva. Prakriti is then Shakti. So I guess them in individualized senses. Because when I think dense Shiva, I think about the nigga that's laying down in front of Kali, which is dense Shakti. So that's what I think when you say that. So I guess what you're talking about in like their separate individualized forms. See, look, that could be a reason to have Trav on my show, to have him explain what that means. You know, hey, that could be a reason to have Trav on my show, to help him break that down and to see where we can connect on that. That'd be interesting. Ethan, creating my own language fully defined instead of doing traditional mantras for the old gods works very effectively. Because you're already using your own language. You're already using your own ideas. But it's not what you're using, it's how you're using it. That's the thing. See, that's part of the reason I don't want to get into, like when people go all is mind. I don't want to get into talking about mind. I said that the Trinity is mind. I don't like to talk about mind. I don't like to talk about mind. Because if you know about the Trinity, you know it goes 1, 3, 6, and 9. That means there's different qualities of mind. I don't want to talk about mind. Because people are going to get caught up on mind, then equating it to mental or mentality. And then they get into what they think as opposed to how they think. And my emphasis is how you think, not what you think. See, look, the shit I got on here, other hand, dumbass. The shit I got on here, these are whats. These are whats. You can replace them with other whats. You can replace them with other whats. Like here, look. This is the other one I want to show. Where the fuck is it? I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. This one. This has got to be it. Boom. As opposed to the appearance of the physical world, this is what I would say the physical world breaks down into, okay? There are densities of the same thing. You have the mineral density, the plant density, the animal density, and the density of man. M-A-N, not male. M-A-N. It contains both male and female. It's MAN, okay? This is a better way, I would say, of explaining how the physical world breaks down, as opposed to using the appearances of things. All right? You have densities. You have densities. Because if you go into quantum, all you're doing is changing where you're looking at the same thing from. All right? I'm not interested in the behavior of the thing necessarily, unless I'm talking about the dynamics of how it interacts with other things. I've talked about this shit before. I'll talk about it in the coursework as well. I don't necessarily want to get into it. It's fivefold though. It's fivefold though. The words are meant to contain an entire process. Yeah, that's how they're used. That's the tool. The words are symbols. The symbols point to something else. Yeah, I get you. Look, Trav, looking at that. I didn't think you were still in here, Trav. 3 hours in? That's what's up, man. Areas of Trav. Yeah, see, they ain't had me at the Master Student Conference. It's all right, though. I was pushing that shit. Y'all have me on the stage one of these days. I just come in there and slay everybody. Hell yeah, Trav. Yeah, I might have to have you on here to put some, or to condense the ideas of this Purushu and Prakriti. Purushu and Prakriti. I'm sure that, look, the devil's in the details. The devil's in the details. Any game show spin wheel. Is that what you're talking about, Ryan Moore? The Wheel of Fortune? Any game show spinning wheel? Let me look back. The Wheel of Fortune would be a good graphic to show how the scale changes, but it's always in the center. I don't know. I had to think about that, Ryan. I got to think about that. Maybe message me on Instagram and let me know exactly what you mean. The streets need that crossover episode. Hell yeah, that shit would happen. When are you having guests on your show? I probably won't have guests on my show. Well, you see how I be ranting. I get to enjoy hearing the sound of my voice, saying what I want to say. Like, what I might do is like an interview and then like show y'all the interview. But I don't know if I want to have niggas on my show. Because then what if a nigga want to talk as much as I want to talk? Man, please. I don't know. If I do have guests on here, I'm only going to extend it to people I will interview and people I've worked with. That's me, i.e. people who are on the Gilded server. If you're not on the Gilded server yet, what the fuck are you doing? I've been trying to tell y'all niggas. You know what would be cool for a spotlight on Spirit, but have Trav do a deity that he works with or is interested in? Trav, what deities you work with, man? What deities? Trav, do you do any deity work? I don't know. What deities you work with, Trav? Trav, what deities you work with? Pre-record the interview as a segment. Yeah, that'll be my basic MO. And when I do interviews, I like to give people the questions I'm gonna interview on them first, so nobody feels like because I'm a trickster. It's obvious I'm a trickster, and I get how somebody could look at me, an interview coming from me, and assume, hey, he's gonna try and put me in a corner. I'm not. I could, but I'm not. I mean, that's what I do. I'm not gonna do that. Because I have a reason. Because otherwise, I just talk shit. If I make go through the trouble of setting up an interview, may as well make it on the level. Even though let he who be deceived. It's not my intention here. So yeah, like when I do like client interviews, I always give them the questions I'm going to ask first, so they have time to think about it. So they don't think they're getting pinned into a corner or they have to say a certain thing. Hell yeah. Might be too disorganized. Yeah, I guess that happens. Arius the narcissist. What if they want to talk as much as I want to talk? And, bro, look, see, I'm being honest about the shit, bro. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and mostly deities I've created. There we go. See, I fuck with that, Trav. I fuck with that. See, y'all, man, get out here. Fuck with the old gods. Fuck with the new gods. Make some gods. I'm telling you, lean into this shit. Bobby Hemmett told you 20 years over, this shit is over. What was over? You thought the white man's rule was over? What stop? You about to go to Master's? We gotta go to Master's place right now and get your dollars. Leave me alone. That ain't over. The old order is over. That's what's over. All right, y'all. I'm hitting 3 hours. I gotta go do some me shit. Alright, I gotta go do some me shit. But this has been fucking fun. This has been fucking fun, y'all. This has been fucking fun. I had plenty here I want to talk about. Hopefully I can get the essays set up that I want to talk about next week, and we can go in on that shit. Yeah, y'all. Thank you for letting me have my way with your Monday morning. The sky is clearing up. I have a request. The psychological terms and the deities. Loki equals narcissist. You mean like a segment on Loki? I could do that. I could do that. Alright, y'all. I'm up out of this thing. Y'all have a great fucking day. Peace.